calm ass center. Yo.
You get a lot of choices in this life. Provide for your family, niggas. Get up off your ass and do it for yourself. And get it for yourself. Get the bitches laid and secure the bag. What you gonna do, huh?
Shit, the way I see it, you can get this money on your own and spread the wealth and put your family niggas on. Hey, shit, the way I see it, you can talk your business on the phone and show initiation, go pick up them zones. Shit, the way I see it, you can get the neck of pride bone and tell that bitch I bring you home when I get home. Shit, the way I see it.
We're back with another episode of The Connection where we connect the dots between hip-hop and mental health. You already know what it is. We the plug. Today we got a lot of exciting topics. First topic we're going to talk about.
Before we get into anything, can we give a moment of silence to Mac Miller? And
Yo, for real. You want to do that now? Let's do it. Yeah. Yo, rest in peace to Mac Miller, man. And straight up, like that shit was cold, bro. That shit was real, like, that hit me hard yesterday. It didn't hit me the first day. I wasn't trying to believe it, you know. Everybody was hitting me up. You hit me up. My boy Eno hit me up. My cousin hit me up. Like, I was just getting bombarded with texts. And, you know, they were like, rest in peace, Mac. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I was like, is this some fake bullshit news, like, that people are jumping on? Like, that shit was crazy, bro.
TMZ said it, bro. So it gotta be
that shit's crazy, bro. Like, Mac was not only a dope lyricist. Mac made beautiful music. He had a beautiful soul. He was a good person. He just struggled with, you know, depression, anxiety, addiction, and you know, my prayers go out to him, his family, and anybody that was affected. Any fans that he had that are out there, you know, really going through it right now. You know, I understand what that's like to lose, you know, someone that's impacted your life, and especially being like someone that you look up to, that you idolize through music or something. Like, that shit's fucked up. That shit's really fucked up.
Yeah, that's the piece of Mac Miller.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak on it much. I'm still pretty tore up about it. And anything I say will probably just be irrational.
Yeah, and all the one thing I do want to say, picking up where Hendo left off the other day on the rant on the full-time radio show.
Tune
you know,
into them too.
Tune in to full-time radio show. They go live every North when
Friday 7 to 9.
Every Friday 7 to 9. Check it out on abm101.com.
Shout out to Craig Bench because he really got me through today.
Yeah, shout out to Craig and J. Dot. They're the family, ABM family. They're the homies. But we were on the show the other day, and we were speaking on how people are basically jumping on social media with the fake love. You know what I mean? Sending fake love to Mac Miller and all his peoples and shit.
Y'all fuck niggas piss me the fuck
when
off.
you people. Where the fuck were you people when he was around? When he actually, like it was time to actually celebrate his success.
Y'all don't know shit
when he
about
was
no
still here,
Kool-Aid
you
or
weren't
frozen
showing love
pizza.
to him.
Y'all don't know no shit about no knock knock, my nigga. Y'all don't know shit about no Avion. Y'all don't know shit about no fucking Diablo. Y'all don't even know, like
he's on my feet.
Not he's on my feet, my nigga. Y'all don't know shit about this Mac Miller nigga. Like, I was on this nigga when he first came out, bro.
Right.
When he first came out.
Right.
Y'all don't know how talented this man was, bro.
He's really like.
Not only did this nigga rap, bro, he made his own beats, my nigga. He produced his own shit. He evolved as a singer.
Mega talented, bro. Played the guitar.
Singer.
You know what I mean? Played a couple instruments. He
could do jazz, my nigga. He could do blues. He could do everything.
Yeah, he really, like, his shit was real soulful. Like, it hit you. Like, you felt it. Like, he did the funk. He did the soul. Like, He was a well-rounded artist. So I respect his artistry. I always have. Not only that, though, I'm just not with the fuckery, like the fake
y'all
bullshit.
Y'all
Like
was talking about how when Astroworld came out, y'all ain't have no fucking love for Mac.
I didn't see anybody sharing Mac shit, but now all of a sudden everybody wants to jump on his dick. Like, that's not okay.
But when X died, and when Pete died, or when Demi Lovato overdosed, y'all want to call them pieces of shit. Y'all want to make fun of him on memes on Facebook. Y'all want to make sure they fucking whole name is discredited and devalued and disenfranchised.
Let me explain something. For all the people out
Fuck
there
y'all.
talking straight up, for all the people out there like that are talking shit and saying like he's a scumbag, because I do see a couple people, like I do see a lot of love, fake
ass
but
love.
I do see a few people, you know, not too many, but a few people reaching out and saying like, yo, you know, Mac was a scumbag or whatever, you know, he was. I don't care if he was depressed.
Mac a scumbag.
Right?
What about Mac's legacy makes him a scumbag?
You can't hate on people that spread love.
No, I've never, ever heard one incident where Mac has done anyone dirty.
Mac has never been a scumbag.
Bro,
so he can't die a scumbag. I'm not going to let him die a scumbag.
When he first came out, a producer had a problem with him because he used his beat, and he paid the producer, but the producer just wanted some clout off him. That's the only time I ever heard Mac Miller getting into some shit.
Here's why I got a problem with that. And I don't mean to sound selfish, because, like, I really feel it with Mac. Like, this whole thing with Mac. But, like, I'm straight up, like, here's how I feel. As artists, I'm speaking for Mac, and I'm speaking on behalf of every other artist around me right now, within my camp or in my circle or anybody that knows me, and myself. If anybody doesn't want to show me love now, and then you start sharing my shit and make it a whole thing just because it's popular or it's cool, when I die, I'm not going to be okay with that.
Don't show up to my fucking funeral, dog.
Right. I don't want that fake love. I don't want it because it's trending or it's cool to do.
Yeah,
like,
word.
Just because it's cool to share Mac shit because everybody's sharing it right now.
Don't even share my shit
fuck
now.
You.
Don't even share my shit now.
You know what I mean?
If you don't fuck with me now when I'm grinding, I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do. If you're not as militant as me, don't fuck with me now.
That's the only reason people do it is because it's cool to do. Everybody wants to hop on the wave or the trend. Like, be original. Keep that same energy, man.
I remember when Tyler first came out, niggas was not fucking with him. I was one of the only niggas in my whole high school fucking with Tyler the Creator, fucking with A$AP Rocky.
I was fucking with Tyler too.
I was one of the only niggas in my whole high school fucking with these niggas when they first came out. Everybody was like, "Oh, Tyler's shock value. Tyler says faggot too much." Tyler
all I had to hear was Yonkers. As soon as I heard Yonkers, that was it.
Every single one of y'all fuck niggas wear OF shit. Every single one of y'all niggas wear Odd Future shit, or wear some cheetah print pink shit. That's because of Tyler. Put some respect on my man's name. Every time when A$AP Rocky first came out, none of y'all niggas was actually really mixing designer fashion with urban shit. Now every single one of y'all fuck niggas have a fucking Ferragamo belt with some fuck ass ball mean jeans.
And with that same mentality, I mean, with what we're saying now, like,
y'all niggas is sheep.
I put you on, you know, I have people around me. I put on the artists all the time, and they're like, "Nah, they suck. They suck." You better keep that same energy, because when they start popping off and it's cool to like them because everybody fucks with them and all your boys and all your girls are fucking with them, like I'm telling you right now, don't try to switch it up. Don't try to switch it up. Keep that same energy. If you had shit to say, if you were talking shit, you better keep talking shit. That's all. I just wanted to let people know that. Like, don't try to switch up because it's cool. Don't try to fit in and be cool. Like, do your thing. Like, if you feel a certain way, ride out with that energy. You know what I mean? Which brings us into our first topic. Change my mind. We're going to talk today about, we're going to compare late registration versus the massacre. The reason why I'm excited to compare this, I'm going to start this off if you don't mind. The reason why I'm excited, because this, I don't think you people understand like how this shifted the culture. Do you understand right now the way hip hop changed around the time of late registration and the massacre by Kanye and 50?
We were talking about it the other day. You was telling me that gangster, like Fifth had gangster rapping a lot. Like,
gangster rap was the wave in hip hop.
He had The Game, Young Buck, Boy Banks.
He had everybody spitting that gangster shit. Everybody wanted to, all the OG, you know, gangster rappers wanted to come back.
No
like,
LL Cool J's were to be found.
Nah, like, yo, straight up, I'm telling you right now, like, and even conscious rappers were spitting gangster shit. Like, it was just the wave, bro. I'm telling you right now, like, hip hop was on some super gangster shit. Like,
I'm not trying to hear Mos Def talk about how he's strapped up.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not taking it that far. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like they always had like some gangsterness to the records, and we had the Locks out there going harder than ever. We had the Fabulouses.
That was
like
around the time Jadakiss came out with Why, right?
That was just still the time.
Why was
Real Rap was out.
what 2004?
That was the end of real rap.
Yeah, exactly. Like it was yeah, it was just a different. It was a whole different mentality. Like hip hop was on some different shit. And here's what happened, at least from my understanding. Like I dove deep into this. I mean, I was around to see it happen right before my face, but at the same time, like I dove deep into exactly what happened. So the way it shifted the culture was 50. Do you remember? I think they were on what was the? It was some kind of. It was on MTV or BET. They were, or was it VH1? They were up there, faced head to head when they dropped their albums.
That was when Curtis. And,
was that like TRL or?
I think that's when Curtis and like Graduation.
No, I think it was.
Was it Late Registration?
I think it was. Or that might have been Curtis and that might have been Curtis and Graduation.
That was around 2006, 2007.
Yeah. But right before that, here's what happened. Like 50 basically had the game on lock for like Late Registration or for the Massacre, and Kanye had the Late Registration, and Kanye was a whole new sound. Like we had never really brought that into the mainstream world yet. Like we had the Commons of the world and the Rhyme Fest. There were like people in Chicago, but it was an underground scene.
I would go as far
you know what I mean,
as
like the
that,
Mos Defs and Talibs and a little bit of like Tribe and all that shit.
I would go as far as say that Kanye helped a lot with gangster rap as well too, because like he fed the Diplomats so many beats, bro.
He did. He
fed
did. No,
Jay-Z
as far as production, but like
content. You mean?
If we're talking content and the shit you were saying, like the shit people were hearing,
He said it wasn't
all these kids were
words,
emulating all these new
words.
artists. They wanted to emulate like that gangster rap lifestyle. Like 50 had that on lock, and when I would say right in between the Massacre Late Registration and then the release of leading up to the release of Curtis and Graduation, the whole culture was shifting and nobody realized what was happening, and I was watching it happen right before my face. Like we had like Game coming out and like it was more gangster than ever, right? We had Dipset, we had the Locks, like I said, we had everybody spitting that street shit.
Kanye knew all the niggas.
And Kanye, everybody respected the fuck out of Kanye. Not only was he a new, fresh sound to the game, you know what I mean, but
Kanye and Jadakiss got music together.
Absolutely. Kanye had music on everybody's albums. Everybody had to have a Kanye production and a Kanye verse. Everybody. That was the cool thing to do. That was the wave, around that time. But, the thing that really fucks me up, and we'll get into comparing the actual albums themselves in a second, but what I think happened, what I think really shifted the culture was Kanye came and really everybody was fucking with the conscious rap, and I think what happened was 50 was on his shit, and the industry knew 50 was getting too powerful. 50 was blowing up, he was making all his money, and he was cocky and arrogant, and I think the label heads, like the big executives, were kind of, they felt threatened by 50, all right, because he was a leader in its own, you know what I mean?
That nigga was bringing hammers in the executive.
That's what I'm saying. Like he was on some real gangster shit, but not only that, he could play the politic and the business card. Like he really knew his shit.
Fucking drug dealer.
He's a smart man, right? He knew his hustle. He knew how to hustle them, and they felt threatened by it. So I think what happened was, they pretty much, I think they pulled some shit behind the scenes, and they really tried to put Kanye and 50 head to head, and they tried to favor Kanye in the game, and they tried to shift the culture a different way, change the whole landscape of rap, the sound of rap, and go with a whole new outlook. Just pretty much give hip hop a fucking makeover. I think that's what happened, and they really let Kanye win. And I don't know if anybody realizes, but as soon as that happened, I'm not saying 50's not relevant in music or hip hop. You won't catch me saying that, or this rap thing, but I'm telling you right now, the way 50 was popping back then, and the kind of pace he was on, and what he was set to achieve musically, just musically alone, aside from all the business endeavors that he's got into after, I'm telling you right now, I think that changed everything for 50's music career. And I think when they put Kanye in the forefront and made him the main focus, because they were like basically competing for that spot, they basically have 50 step down and they put Kanye in that position and had everybody rally around that. I think they were really helping Kanye push his shit, and they kind of blackballed 50. Not like saying like you can't make music anymore, but I think they really like set him up. I think they set Fifth up, and I think what they did was I think Fifth at the time, being a smart businessman that he is, coming from the streets and knowing the hustle and the grind, I think he basically, you know, that's where we had the vitamin waters and the you know, he had the headphones that came out, and then, you know, now he's got Power, the show, which is very successful. It's one of the dopest shows. All that shit comes from 50 saying, okay, if you want to blackball me musically, I'm still going to put out music. I'm going to start my own shit, G-Unit Records. But if you're gonna slow me down, then I'm still going to find other avenues to make money, and that's why I respect Fifth. But ever since that whole, you know, time period happened,
an album that has been as good as the Massacre.
I will say an album like later on that is very slept on, Before I Self-Destruct, is fucking, it's that work. Before I Self-Destruct is that work. I put that over Curtis any day. If you want to compare Fifth's album,
Curtis was not good.
Curtis was good, but it was too. It was like a too.
It was so rich.
It was too mainstream, like for me. I love that gully gangsta New York hip hop, like that original sound he had on like Get Rich or Die Trying or The Massacre. Like Curtis was okay, had a couple, you know, hard joints on there, but it wasn't like the best. I really appreciated Before I Self-Destruct a lot.
Yeah.
I really fucked with that album heavy. But let's compare the two. Let's compare Late Registration and The Massacre. I'll start it off. I'll just say that for me, they're two of my favorite hip-hop albums of all time. I'm a huge Kanye fan. I'm a huge 50 fan. But I will tell you this. The Massacre did more for me at that time. Right?
I listened to The Massacre more.
Yeah, I listened to The Massacre way more.
I like the beats on Massacre.
Because I think 50 was not only running the game and more popular at the time, but I just think it did more for me at the time. Like, my life at that current state, I think that's the kind of music that I needed to listen to.
I was a super aggressive kid.
I was too, and that's the shit that kept me sane. Like, that helped me release some of my demons, and that helped me, you know, really cope with that shit. If I listen to Late Registration...
Nice, that's what you bought for me. That chain nice, that's what you bought for me.
Oh, man.
Them rings is nice, that's what you bought for me. Take that shit off. Move, I'll break you
Go
off
properly.
Yeah, I like the beats on Massacre a lot better. I think, like,
That was Dre in his prime, bro.
I think the reason that the beats are better than Late Registration is because Late Registration was very, like, it was a premature album. And I'm not saying it wasn't good. It was a classic album, but wasn't it, like, one of Kanye's, like, first mainstream, like, exposed albums? Fifth, Late Registration.
Yeah, I mean, it was his second album.
Yeah. So Fifth already had his feet in the door with, like, the shit that he came out with before even.
Yeah,
like,
50 was
like,
tearing up, like, he had, like, his underground shit before.
He already
And
got his
Kanye
legs
did,
in
too.
the
Kanye had, like, I think it was
Yeah,
Freshman
shit was-
Adjustment
yeah,
1 and
yeah.
2, and, like, he had some underground shit, but it was really just, like, deep-rooted in the Chicago streets. You know
it
what I mean?
wasn't, like, being nationally
50 was
exposed,
really,
like,
like, out there. Like, his shit was, his demo was all over the streets, like, in every hood. Like, everybody knew who 50 was.
Yeah, everybody knew who 50
You know what I
was.
mean? So, like...
I think, that's why I think, like, the Massacre had more, it had more work in it. Like, the beats from the Massacre are crazy, bro.
You couldn't touch that powerhouse back in the day.
Bro,
like Dre, M, and 50, they were
Bitch
fucking...
Get in My Car to fucking Ski Mask Way to I'm Supposed to Die Tonight.
I'm Supposed to Die Tonight was my shit. That
love
shit
that fucking
used to
song,
give me
bro.
chills listening to that.
I love that fucking song.
You know what I mean?
Other songs are on there. Help me out here.
Was Piggy Bank on there?
Piggy Bank, Clickety, Clink, P.I.M.P. was on there. Candy
No,
Shop.
P.I.M.P. was on Get Rich or Die Trying.
Oh, okay. Fucking Candy Shop was on there. Dog.
And that was alright. I wasn't like the biggest Candy Shop fan, but
He had gangsta ass hits that hit Billboard. He had
right. And the
Poppin'.
success that he had from Get Rich or Die Trying was, come on, that album like sold more than, it was nothing of its kind. Like,
Ridiculous,
you know what I mean?
bro. It was really
It was one in its own. It set.
I think
new
the
records.
Massacre is better than Get Rich or Die Trying as well.
You could argue that.
I think the Massacre is Fifth's best album ever.
It did a lot for me.
It definitely did a lot for me.
Like, I can't stand when people say Get Rich or Die Trying was way better than the Massacre. It wasn't way better.
They can go
it was a
ahead.
more improved version of Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah.
It was like Get Rich or Die Trying on steroids.
It was a refurbished version.
Right. I could argue that Get Rich or Die Trying is better for some certain reasons, but
it's more gully.
It is. But I will say this: the Massacre did a lot for me, and I appreciate that. Now, on the late registration side of things, that album also I digested well, and I loved it.
Drive Slow
but,
is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, hell yeah.
I love Drive Slow. T.I. bodied that shit. He
T.I.
had Paul Wall on that shit, dog.
That was crazy.
He had Paul Wall on that shit.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that shit was
the world wasn't really on the conscious rappers of the world yet. Like, it wasn't like a huge thing.
He said, I was just a version of Baby.
It was popping off. Like, it started the conscious rap started coming to the forefront in like the late 90s, and Kanye really did it like mid 2000s. But nobody really did it like him. Yeah.
Kanye's super old.
He shifted the culture for real. Like, he really did. Like, he's responsible for that.
I always
That's what people don't realize.
Remember how old he is and how long he's been in the game.
People don't respect what he did. You know, that's why we could never we could never say that like 50 and Kanye didn't do a lot for hip hop. Like,
I feel
you
like
can't.
That's why Kanye kind of like started going nuts on niggas, because like here I let me put myself in Kanye's shoes. Here I am signed to one of the biggest labels at the time, fucking Rockefeller. You feel me? I'm meeting heavy hitters. I'm meeting Joel Santana. I'm meeting Jim Jones. I'm meeting Jay-Z. I'm feeding these niggas beats. You know, I'm feeding all these niggas beats. And my boss is telling me you're better off as a producer. Then when I come out,
I was just gonna say, like, he didn't get the respect as a rapper yet.
Then when I come out, I body niggas on the charts. You feel me?
Yep.
Body them. You feel me? With late registration graduate, I body niggas.
And that right there, I'm gonna stop you right there. That just goes to show that, like, you can't judge a book by its cover, and you got to give people a shot and a chance.
Not
like,
one Kanye album has flopped.
Right. You
Not
never
one.
You never know. You never know. Like, all you people out there that don't give people a shot and a chance. You know what I mean? Like, if you know someone locally, always give them a chance. Even if they're not locally, if you just know someone in general, like, give them a shot, because you never know. Look, if Jay-Z never pulled the trigger and never took a chance with Kanye, we wouldn't have, like, first of all, hip-hop would be more gangsta. We wouldn't have the conscious hip-hop. We wouldn't have a Chance the Rapper. We wouldn't have any of that shit. The Vic Menses of the world, like...
Niggas do not fucking appreciate Kanye West, bro.
Yo, he really did a lot.
And that's the reason why he used to go wild out on niggas. That's the reason he said George Bush don't care about black people, because it's true. That's the reason why he got up on award shows and was like, what the fuck? Like, because niggas... Kanye West has been music for the past 15 years.
Heard him say, Adam Levine.
Fucking playing with me, bro.
Heard him say,
touch
the sky with Lupe.
Don't he got music with Coldplay too?
Gold Digger.
Boom.
Jamie Foxx. Drive Slow, Paul Wall T.I. My Way Home, Common. Crack Music, The Game.
Crack Music, my nigga.
And that was bold.
That shit was crazy.
That was bold, because after the split up, right after Game left G-Unit, he was making music with Ye, who basically
shifted
replaced 50's position in the game.
Shifted the fucking culture.
Roses, Bring Me Down, Addiction, Diamonds from Sierra Leone. What?
Hold on. Diamonds from Sierra Leone is one of his best lyrical fucking songs, bro. Close your eyes in the magic, feel the madness. A Vegas on acid, seen through my St. Laurent glasses. And bro. And I have realized that I've arrived because it take more than a magazine to kill my vibe does.
I'm so glad Hove really took a shot on him, and I think
Hove didn't take a shot on him, bro.
He did.
Damon Dash took a shot on him, and Hove had no other choice.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Hove did have a choice, because he was saying at first, he's like, Hove was calling that shot, and he was like, listen, like, we're just going to keep Kanye as the producer, and that's it. Jay-Z was in the studio laughing, bro. He's like, you want to rap? He laughed. You know what I mean? He was chopping it up with him, and he's like, Kanye's like, yo, like, I think I want to rap. And, like, he broke his confidence, you know, and Kanye got in the booth, he spit some shit, and then he blew Hove away, and you know, he's like, let's take a shot. And he took a gamble, and Now we have Ye.
Now
You know what I
Ye
mean?
is has been the most influential musician.
You could argue that.
No, we don't have to argue it because it's true. How many niggas do you know out here wearing Yeezys? How many niggas do you know out here wearing extended tees? That's all because of A$AP Rocky and Kanye West. How many niggas do you know using soulful samples? Kanye fucking West. Of course, yeah, that shit was around before Kanye, but Kanye fucking improved on it. He improvised on it, and he made it a fucking a staple.
Kanye is the. I'm gonna tell you right now, the only person that I could see ever, and there's so many other producers. So
Bro,
this doesn't discredit all the other producers out there, but the only other producer that could touch some of the samples that I've heard Kanye flip is probably like a Jay Dilla. Jay Dilla is the fucking. He was the truth, bro.
Or Alchemist.
But nah, I'm saying like the samples that he's flipping. Alchemist is a totally different type of rap. Totally different.
Bro, Alchemist has some samples, bro.
Alchemist does have samples, but I'm saying that style, like the soulful shit, Jay Dilla, it's a totally different lane. Alchemist is more greasy. Alchemist would make a beat for like 50 or like an Eminem or something like that.
Like 50 Cent and Kanye West put together, to be honest. Because, bro, I've heard some soulful fucking samples.
I don't want to hear a Kanye West, or I don't want to hear a someone that's spitting soulful shit over an Alchemist beat. I want to hear like Styles P or something. Because that's just bro. That's his style. I would love Alchemist is dark. He has dark
beats.
beats.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like his shit is like dark conscious, like dark soul.
Locks, Eminem, 50 Cent. Like, I want to hear dark shit on that.
You ever heard of Flying Lotus?
Flying Lotus is amazing.
Yeah.
Flying Lotus is amazing.
I love his fucking beats, bro.
Flying Lotus works with Kendrick a lot.
Yeah, he does.
Yo, We Major featuring Nas. Like his second album, he's already got Nas on there, a legend.
Nas is from the same city as fucking Fifth.
Right.
You feel me?
Right. And it wasn't like, we weren't looking at it at the time like it was a stab
No, it wasn't.
in Kanye's back. But
Nas is a conscious rapper and Fifth is not. So why wouldn't
But Nas gets the exception rule because Nas speaks gangsta rap, but he was like a street poet. Yeah. So he was like a conscious street rapper. Like it was weird. Like he might be one of the first of his kind. Like honestly, like other than like a Cool G rap or like people that were in that lane. But like, yeah, Nas is literally right in the middle. If there's a divide on gangsta rap and conscious, Nas is like right in the center of it. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But yeah, that's
I'm going. If we're talking like which album is better,
for me personally, I gotta choose Massacre. I have to. For me personally, just at that time. Now, if I go back,
at that time when I was a low nigga and I was listening to both albums, I would have chosen Massacre. But like the kind of artist I am now,
right? That's what I'm saying.
I would choose Late Registration overall.
Now, yep.
But I will always back the fact that Massacre has better beats.
Massacre did more for me then, but I would say if I went back, like for the type of artist I am now, I have more of an appreciation for like a Late Registration.
I'll listen to Late Registration more now than I listen to the Massacre, but I was listening to the Massacre a lot more back when I was younger.
And that's crazy. You see, just talking about that, like that just shows like how much we've grown as people, as artists. You know what I mean? Like
as you mature, your music has to. So does your music taste. Bro, when I'm 40 years old, I'm not listening to no fucking shit Luch. I'm not listening to no gangster rap. I'm gonna be listening to B.B. King.
Will you keep that same energy? Because I will.
I'm gonna listen to like old school fucking acid jazz.
I'm gonna have my kid on some gangster shit.
French blues bands and shit like that. I'm not really listening to rap music anymore.
Nah, you grow, and you evolve. You know.
To be honest with you, I'm kind of sick and tired of rap music now. All of the beats that I'm trying to choose aren't really rap kind of beats. They're like soulful R&B-ish.
The beats that we've been cooking up in the studio are a little different.
Exactly.
We got something different to give to the people. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums it up. I think we pretty much came to our conclusion. I think we both side with Late Registration now.
Yeah, most definitely.
Would you say back then, like Massacre did more for you as well? Or were you siding with Late Registration?
Massacre did more for me because I didn't know how to digest all the things that Kanye West was talking about because I was so young.
Because you were so young, right? You couldn't relate. You were just angry, so you related with 50 because of his anger.
Yeah.
And that's why I could digest that shit better, right? So.
Yeah, I was definitely more of a Fifth fan. Yeah, I'm definitely going with Late Registration now. Late Registration. I'll pick Kanye's whole discography over Fifth's. His whole
Yeah.
discography.
If we're arguing his whole discography up against 50's, yeah, I think so. And I think Kanye has he played a big role in that. Like I said.
I don't think Kanye's a better rapper than 50, though. I don't think Kanye is a
Probably not.
Whenever Fifth doesn't need metaphors. I think I was telling you about this.
Nah, he doesn't. He has shock value. He has a presence on the mic. Like when people listen. I love Biggie, but I just saw a thing the other day on Facebook, and it was compare. One dude's got to go, and it was a picture of Rakim, Big Daddy Kane, Biggie,
Damn.
Cool G Rap,
Damn.
and Nas, and
Biggie.
I saw all them, and I'm like, I could really just. Oh, and it was also KRS-One, and they were
Biggie's gotta go.
and I said one good thing. I made sure I didn't bash anybody. I said one good thing about all them because I have respect for all those dudes because I listened to all them growing up. But Biggie wasn't the most technical artist, right? Biggie was smooth. Biggie had that wavy, side to side flow. He was smooth. But the thing is about Biggie, he had I'm not gonna put him down or diss him. Let that man rest in peace. And he was one of the dopest things we've ever seen. But my thing with Biggie is, not only was he smooth, he had a presence on the mic that nobody could ever match. And it's the same thing with 50 Cent. 50 doesn't have to give you technical rap. You know what I mean? We'll save that for the M&Ms. 50 is a guy who literally could get on a mic and say some shit, and we're all gonna listen. It's gonna have shock value because he doesn't need to.
Bro,
he has a presence.
If Eminem thought about quitting rap while listening to a Fifth verse, you know he's something special. You feel me? Eminem has said that shit publicly. That when the first time he heard Fifth, he almost quit rap music.
Because he has a presence.
Exactly.
It's not even about. It's beyond technical bars or if it's bar heavy or not.
50 Cent knows how to tell a story too.
Exactly.
I think y'all niggas really be sleeping on 50 Cent.
Because he really tells his life story.
Yeah,
The
y'all
shit.
niggas really be sleeping on 50 Cent's realness. When it was a point in time where niggas really tried to say that Fifth wasn't about the shit that he said he was about. I think y'all are really forgetting that this was the same nigga who was selling crack at 12 years old,
Right.
knew how to box and would shoot at anything in his sight. You feel me? 50 Cent had shot at niggas.
Facts.
50 Cent got
Who do you think's more? Who do you think? I got a question. Random topic. Who do you think's more gangster? The Game or 50 Cent?
The Game.
Why?
Because the Game will really beat 50 Cent the fuck up.
You think so?
I know so.
Why do you know?
Because you ever seen that 40 Glock fight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was really.
Yeah, he was putting the hands.
Well, Fifth doesn't look like a dude you want to fuck with either.
Fifth's
to be
not
honest.
a bitch. I'm not gonna say
not
that
at
Fifth
all.
is a bitch.
I think they both come from the streets. But I don't know, man. Between the two of them, I think it's tough. You don't really see too many flaws in their gangster. You know what I mean?
You can't even really say niggas be trying to play the game too, talking about how he used to be a male stripper and all this other nonsense. For one, y'all niggas was not with this man shooting in the fucking gym. So leave that man the fuck alone. And even if he was a male stripper, that nigga's really a cedar block Pyru, and you really won't go up to him and beat him up. You will not step to the game, nor will you step to 50 Cent and be like, you a bitch.
Nah.
Not one of you niggas. I won't. I definitely, Nick, big as hell, he won't. I'm not trying, I don't want that situation.
You would have to do something crazy. The only way I would step up to them is if they
You
threaten
have
to kill my
disrespect
mama
son
or
or
something
yeah,
like
some
crazy
shit
like that. Then I'm walking up to anybody. I'll walk up to fucking God himself.
I'll shoot the shit out of
You know
him.
what I mean?
That big. You feel me? The game is 6'2", 280 pounds.
Yeah.
So I'm not fighting him. I'm gonna shoot that nigga. Fuck that. But, man, yeah. 50 Cent,
gonna,
he definitely a gangster.
All right, I think we came to our
Just
conclusion.
Nick.
I just had that off topic. So our next topic, I want to talk for What's the Wave? I want to talk about this whole Joe Budden and Eminem thing, bro.
Joe Budden.
Did you watch the video?
No,
Did you watch the Joe Budden podcast?
I saw one little snippet. It was Joe Budden going ham, talking about how he was a better rapper than the nigga and has been a better rapper than that nigga.
So, check this out. Joe Budden basically publicly tried to humiliate and embarrass Eminem and basically slander like his whole shit, like his whole existence, because there's deep-rooted problems that they're facing over there in the shady camp right now, because like no pun intended, they're dealing with some shady shit. You know what I mean? They're dealing with some shady shit. But nah, straight up, like
Nick made it funny.
I think it's I think there's some shit going on because you know, the whole breakup of Slaughterhouse and
whose fault was that?
Well, that's why I was hoping that you saw the video, but let me try to break it down. So, long story short, I can argue both sides, alright? So, I can understand, Joe Budden made a lot of valid points on his podcast. Joe Budden's a very logical person. Joe Budden does not say shit that, you know, can't be backed up with evidence or anything. He's never been that type of dude. He really says some shit.
Niggas be trying to portray him as that one of niggas.
So I really have to, you have no choice. After you hear this podcast, you have no choice but to just respect him. And that's why, shout out to Budden for having like the #1 podcast in the world, I think, right now. Like,
happy as hell for
he's
that.
got a deal for Spotify, and that's what's up, because like he finally won. You know, a lot of people that I came up with, they always said like Budden fucks everything up. He'll even tell you himself. Budden will tell you himself that, you know, he'll be the first one to fuck some shit up. Like he never wants to settle and get comfortable with something, because he always thinks like, I don't know if it's something with him. I don't know. You know, he stated before that he has problems and he fucks things up, things that could potentially go well in his life. I think that plays into what I'm about to say, but I also think that everybody knows Eminem, when he started Shady Records, Eminem has been basically like kept in this box because there's a difference between a regular star and a megastar, right? He blew up, and his success when he first came out put him on megastar status. So he was put in a box and sheltered from the hip-hop community and the world and his fans and everything, right?
The underground really stopped fucking with him.
You have to do that. The underground never stopped fucking with Eminem.
So?
Except for when he started putting out pop hits. Like after his they did later on, but that's irrelevant. What I'm saying, when M first came out, he was on megastar status.
Yeah.
And what happened was, because of that, M didn't know how to deal with the whole business side of things. M never wanted all that. He didn't know he was going to blow like that. They were taking a gamble. When Dre basically even said it himself. Like, I took a gamble on you. I risked my whole career. You know what I mean? He risked his whole career for the white boy. But the thing is, when he blew, it happened all so fast. So like M didn't know how to really like handle like the status that he was, you know, that he had, and he put together Shady Records, and you know, just figured he put on some artists. He never really had the business mind. He never really had that. Like, I'm sure like he thought he could, you know, build that army, but when you compare him to a guy like Jay-Z, like Hove really was in the streets like hustling. So Hove was the other way around. Like with a Hove, he came on and he was like, I'm gonna build a dynasty. Like, he knew that. His first album was under his own label, right? So that's the difference. Like, M just got signed to Dre, and M was like at the Rap Olympics and shit before that. Like, he just wanted to be an artist. That's all he really ever wanted. He just wanted to be respected for his lyricism. So he never asked for the shit. So I guess the point I'm trying to make is, like, Joe Budden's mad because Joe Budden wanted M to like do more for his career on Shady Records. But my whole thing with that, and do I agree with him to a certain extent? Sure. Like, I agree that maybe M, you know, could have stepped in and assisted, you know, sometimes, and maybe it didn't always have to be about the label, like just on some real shit. Like, maybe he could. I don't think he was that close with a lot of those guys or talked to him a lot. I think he was close with Royce, and I think that's where it ended. Like, I think like he respected all of them as MCs and their artistry and lyricism, but I think like Budden has a bad taste in his mouth because he expected M to like kind of step up and do more for his career. But Budden was also playing hard to get, and he wouldn't drop. Here's the problem I have. Budden was playing hard to get, and he wouldn't drop certain tracks like the Slaughterhouse group. They basically, you know, had these conference calls, and they would talk about like doing like little EPs or something just to keep the fans from waiting, putting out songs. And Budden was like, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to drop music because, you know, we're not being backed by this shit or whatever. But, like, even Crooked was saying online, like, you know, we were really trying to promote and share the shit, and you weren't with it. Like, you weren't trying to put out music. Budden thought he was getting fucked the whole time. He thought he was in a deal that was getting fucked. And Budden's had a lot of deals where he was actually fucked over. He knows the industry. So I think there's some deep-rooted shit that we all kind of don't know about that is going on or already has happened. I don't think it's 100% just involves Eminem and Budden. I think it involves also the label and the heads of the label and who's in charge over there and what's going on. And Joe Budden felt like he was in a like a fucked up deal or something wasn't right. Like they weren't really doing something right or something. You know what I mean? But that might be all him. You know what I mean? They say, you know, perception is reality. He might have perceived that shit differently than some of the other guys. Like, he basically said, you know, when you're signed as a new artist, you're like mesmerized. You're like you're in a daze and you're like excited, you know, because it's a new thing and you don't know what to expect and you're so motivated all the time and inspired to just make music. And Joe Budden said, you know, from being in the game forever, he wasn't really like feeling like that anymore. Like some of the other guys were. They were all excited, you know, to get Slaughterhouse in the studio and grind out, you know, and bust out, you know, tracks. But he wasn't really like on that shit. So I guess he was looking for his way out for a long time. Like he was looking for his lane to make money, which is why I respect and I'm so happy that he actually found that. Like he's actually getting his bag, you know, with the podcast. Like shout out to Budden for finally like finding that success within the industry. Because, you know, you can argue that Budden had that one hit. You know, he's had some success otherwise with music, but he's never really touched the top of charts other than like a Pump It Up, which was years ago. Yeah. So I can argue both sides, you know. Nobody's right or wrong. It's just what happened. And what I will say is I respect both of their artistry. You know, Joe Budden's from Jersey, so I respect him obviously because, you know, that's my home state, and I've always loved Budden. I've looked up to him as a lyricist. You know, he's always talked some real shit, and obviously, you know, I love M too. I respect his artistry. I just think that everybody's going to use this new, you know, when Eminem drops something, it's like, you know, #1 headlining, you know, article topic, you know, right now. You know, it's the most trending shit besides the Colin Kaepernick thing, which we'll get into later. Yo, he dropped the album with no promotion, and it was within 30 minutes. It was the #1 trending topic in the whole world. Like that's fucking retarded. That's crazy. You know, to me. That's called a megastar. So when you have megastar status like that, and you can do that. Everybody in the world is commenting on it because it's the most relevant topic. So do you see what I was just saying earlier about everybody jumping on the Mac wave? If people want to do what's popular, so everybody's commenting. Of course, he's going to comment with his podcast about Eminem because M just dropped an album and he's the #1 megastar in the world. Of course, he's going to do that. But and he did make a lot of valid points. But here's what I will say. As an artist, as a lyricist myself, Budden, stop talking about it. We want to hear the bars, bro. Like, here's my thing. You can talk all you want on your podcast, right? But don't hide behind that. He already did technically diss you, Budden. You responded back to his diss with words. You need to respond back with an actual record.
I want to hear the content.
Because if you do, like, the one thing about the MGK thing, right? I never was a big MGK fan. I never was. I always respected his artistry, okay? He's super talented. Like, I've heard it. He can flow well. He said some shit. I respect MGK, but I never was the biggest fan. I'm not going to sit in front to you. I'm not going to lie. I never was the biggest fan. But what I will say is I have a whole newfound respect for MGK. Not because the diss to Eminem was bar heavy or, you know, anything. I think a lot of it was nursery rhyme bullshit. But what I will say, he spoke facts. But the thing is, a lot of it was corny. They were watered down bars. Like, for example, like he said the last time you saw 8 Miles was when you were home on a treadmill. Like, bro, that's corny as shit. If I wrote that, I would expect you to laugh at me for saying it. That's corny, bro. That's a nursery rhyme. You know what I mean? We get it. It's facts, whatever, but it's not cool. You know what I mean?
You don't think so? I thought that was a pretty heavy one.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. Okay? what I will say is, though, here's why I have a new level of respect for an MGK. Because nobody in the world has the balls to diss M, and he did it. So, that man has some fucking balls, bro. And you know what? Just off of that alone, because, you know, and I don't think it's cute people making a funny joke. Like, you already know anybody that comes at M is a goner. And people are making jokes saying, like, oh, Mac Miller died on purpose because he didn't want to be another white rapper that M came at or something. Like, don't disrespect a dead person. I have a big fucking problem with that.
That makes me
you are such a fucking scum.
Like,
you need to really check yourself when you say shit like that. That's not cool. But I do respect an MGK for doing that because nobody in the world's really dissing Eminem.
This is why,
like, everybody's scared of M. Like, I could tell you so many, the game himself, like, so many artists that have basically said, like, I would never, ever even think about dissing that man ever in my life.
I don't even think as good of a lyricist I am because I'm a fucking beast. Will I ever diss Eminem? I think, personally, dissing a nigga is fucking corny. On Eminem's side, on MGK's side, on anyone's side who's ever dissed the nigga. Bro, no. Fuck that. If you ever diss me in a song, and this is for local niggas, I swear to God, you bet anything you ever say about me in a diss, you better be ready to say to my fucking face.
Nah, see, that's where hip hop changed, and that's what I don't like. I'm gonna argue that one because let me explain something to you. Hip hop was a place to come where we can all get along and have a so they have rap battles. You've heard of rap battles before, right?
And that shit is
okay.
Corny.
So no, it's not. No, it's not.
Corny.
Because people, it's a sport, bro. It's a sport. Do you see LeBron? Do you see LeBron swinging at people because they dunked in his face?
You're not about to sit here and
it's a sport.
You're not about to sit here and personally disrespect me.
Okay, did you see Tom Brady swing at Nick after he fucking won the Super Bowl?
That's sports. These niggas is not.
It is a sport. Hip hop is a fucking sport.
These niggas not in each other's face.
No,
talking about
listen.
Your mom
That's the problem. No, listen. When people, there's a certain line I believe you never take it beyond. Like when Ja Rule, went beyond and said something about Eminem's daughter, right? MGK disrespecting, talking about Eminem's daughter. I think there's a certain line people need to draw the line. When you get too personal, you best believe some of these people are going to test your gangster. They're going to see if you're really about this street life that you claim to be about. But I think hip-hop needs to be... I miss that fun sport aspect of it. To me, at least that's how I look at it. You should be able to say something on wax and it not go as far as people having to die or catch a fade or fighting or anything. Like, now, if someone calls you out and wants to fight you because of a line you said, you know what? Then if they want to test your manhood, then so be it. But I don't think it ever really has to even come to that. I look at it as a sport. That's just you and I.
This is why I want to fight niggas if they diss me. Because you don't have no reason to diss me. Like, I'm the nicest.
It's not about that, though. It's about people proving everybody wants to be the nicest on the mic. So if somebody wants to say something,
then
and
come
they want
out
to
with a song better than mine. Don't say my name in a song and try and get some fucking clout off my name. If you think that you are a better rapper than me, don't diss me personally. Don't say shit about my personal life. Don't try and air me the fuck out. Make a song better than mine. Because I will never ever try and air someone's personal fucking business out to prove that I'm a better rapper than them.
Well,
that doesn't even make any fucking sense.
I'm the kind of person that's never gonna diss anybody. Here's where I stand. I'm never gonna diss you unless you diss me. If you diss me, you're gonna get a nasty diss back. I'm gonna destroy your shit.
If you diss me on a song, I'm dropping my location, and you can come say whatever the fuck you wanted to say on that song to my fucking face. Because there's a reason you tried to diss me. There's a reason you said all those personal things. There's a reason you feel so intimidated. So come to my face and talk to me about it, or let's fucking fight.
People diss people because they feel threatened by them.
That's weak.
That's
weak. That you're not a man if you talk about another man on a song. If you have enough balls to talk about a man on a song, you better have enough balls to come and say that shit to my face. Because I'm a grown-ass man.
Yeah, see, I look at the game. I grew up looking at it different because, like, this shit's a sport to me. You know what I mean?
And the reason why I respect niggas like Fifth for dissing niggas like Jay-Z is because I know niggas like Fifth will go up to Jay-Z's face and say the same shit that he said in that song. I know.
So you do respect the disses?
I respect the diss coming from a man. I respect the diss coming from a man. I don't.
You're saying so you're not, because the whole time I'm sitting here thinking that you're against disses. You are not against disses. You're against people dissing and then not backing it up physically.
I'm against fuck niggas dissing fuck niggas.
Okay.
Like the Pusha T and Drake shit. I know Pusha T will go to Drake's face and say all the shit that he wanted to say to Drake to his fucking face.
All right.
Drake will never ever go to Meek Mill's face and call him a fuck nigga. Drake will never go to Meek Mill's face and tell him to his face, you get embodied by a singer.
That's why I never took any Drake disses serious. Right? But like a person like Eminem who's not psychologically right in the head.
MGK and Eminem are not going to meet up at Coachella or
No, Eminem's not at this point in his career, but I think Eminem's a sick bastard, and I think that
why are you saying his name?
Why am I saying his name? Because we're talking about
I'm saying why is Eminem saying his name? Eminem had no fucking reason to say that man's name.
Because MGK may have to have no reason to talk about his daughter.
Then go to each other like fucking men and talk about it. Don't sit there and put that shit in music. That shit is foo-foo to me. That's some fuck shit to me. And Meek Mill, even to a certain degree, was on some fuck nigga shit.
But that's what, bro.
Y'all niggas could have had a conversation. Fuck that diss shit.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's garbage.
I think that a lot of people get you don't understand. There's a whole lane in hip hop. There's a fan base that likes that. It gets people. It's entertainment.
That shit is
people
corny.
like that.
It's corny and it's petty. It's stupid.
So you think when
if you diss me, I want to.
You think when LeBron turns up on the court, you think that's corny? When he tries to prove that he's better.
That's not a diss.
It is a diss. If he dunks in your face and he looks cocky, or if Joel Embiid dunks in your face and he does that, he turns around and gives that cocky look that he does.
If you dunk in my face, and you put your nuts on my face, and then you have some disrespectful shit to say after, I want to fight you after the game.
Well, then you're gonna have an issue.
I want to fight you after the game because you already put your nuts in my face. You ain't gotta talk no shit to me. Keep it at a sportsmanship level. Fuck all that cocky shit because I know that I'm a better rapper than half the niggas that be around me. I know I'm a better rapper than half the niggas claiming that they so good at rapping. I don't need to say your name in a song to prove I'm a better rapper than you. I can put out a better song than you.
I think what it comes down to. I think we're gonna move on, but I think what it comes down to is we just view it as two different things. Like I look at hip hop as a sport, so I appreciate the disses and stuff.
I'm not saying I don't look at it as a sport either. The fact that I look at it as a sport is the reason I think disses are so corny. Because you dissing me on some personal shit or saying or airing my business out on a song does not mean you are a better rapper than me. It means you are a pettier.
So this man just shared this on Facebook the other day. I'm tired of the friendly rap. I want to hear more diss tracks, and as long as these dudes aren't in their feelings trying to get the strap, I'd love the sport. And I can stand right by that.
Fuck that.
Right?
Fuck that.
That's what hip hop was about. That's the hip hop we all grew up on.
Don't say my name on no fucking song if you're not ready to fight. Period.
So back to the MGK and Eminem thing. So this is what Eminem said. So here's the thing. I think Eminem slayed MGK in one bar, right? And MGK had to make the whole song. I think Eminem's line, "But you already know who you are, Kelly," sounding like R. Kelly, went over a lot of people's heads because R. Kelly got in trouble with a 14-year-old girl. And MGK tweeted, to his 15-year-old daughter, Haley, the one line beat MGK's, whole entire diss just for the cleverness of it. Like, I really do.
I don't think that shit was clever at all.
Yeah, well, I mean,
I
just think you don't like Eminem.
It's just cause I peep bars.
Because if somebody else said that, I think you would definitely.
If somebody else with less lyrical skill than Eminem would have said that, then maybe I would have been surprised. But
right.
The fact that I know,
at least you admit that. I respect that you admitted that.
The fact that I know how skilled Eminem is does not make it a fucking fucking line to me.
Well, how much more could he say?
I've heard Eminem spit harder shit about Ja Rule. I'm not
sure.
I'm not
saying it's the hardest bar you ever had. I'm saying if you put it up against an MGK nursery rhyme, I think that it's better. I would literally clean up MGK's whole shit myself. Like I'm a pretty humble dude, but when it comes to the sport of hip hop, you're not gonna put MGK and Shu in a room and MGK's gonna walk out okay. Like I'm slaughtering that man's whole career.
That nigga can rap.
I don't give a fuck.
That nigga can rap.
Well, then you've never heard me rap. That's the problem I have.
I'm not saying you won't.
Then you've never heard me rap. Then you've never heard me get in my bag real
that
quick.
That nigga's a beast. I'm not going to sit here and take that from him. I'm not going to sit here and take that from you. That nigga's a beast.
Sure, so be it. I'm not taking anything away from the man at all. I have a new respect for him. I'm not dissing him at all. But I'm telling you right now, if he diss me, he's going to get it.
This is why I'm siding with MGK on this. Because MGK and everybody else knows that Machine Gun Kelly is not up there with Eminem as far as skill. But he still took the time out to write a whole song, not one line, a whole song full of facts. Not just clever wordplay, a whole song full of facts that Eminem did, the petty shit that Eminem did to try and stop MGK's fucking career just from a fucking tweet.
But don't you like the shock value shit that you have to rewind and say, what the fuck did he just say?
No.
Don't you like that?
No.
So you just like when people just basically reiterate what we already know?
It's not even that.
Yes, it is. He basically just said shit we already knew. We know Eminem's from 8 Mile. You're saying the last time you saw 8 Miles was when you were on a treadmill at home? Like, that's corny, bro.
I'm saying that
I'm gonna fuck Kim and all this shit. Like, bro.
Yeah, that's disrespectful as fuck.
Okay, cool. It's disrespectful, but we already know, like, basically, like, we already expect you to... What are you going to say to Eminem? You're going to talk about how he grew up in a trailer park, you know, something about his mom, something about Kim. Like, what could you say? We already knew that. There's no shock value there. That doesn't blow me away. I respect him for doing it because he has balls, but I think it was...
He said more shit than that, though. He said more shit than that, though. He talked about...
For as long as Eminem's been around and as much as the world knows about him, he could have put his rhymes together a little more clever and came up and attacked him a little harder. For as much, when you're battling someone, if you know them well, then you should be able to come up with better shit than he did, than his nursery rhymes. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you why.
Do I think it was a whack diss? I don't think it was whack, but I think he could have went a lot harder.
Let me tell you why he did go harder. Because the nigga spoke facts. We're not talking.
He did speak facts.
We're not talking about Haley. We're not talking.
He
about
did speak facts. I'm not taking that away from him.
Haley, we're not talking about Kim. We're not talking
but there
about
wasn't shock value because we already knew all that shit.
We're not talking about any of that. Though.
We didn't learn anything.
We're talking about how
like when Pusha T said the line about Drake's kid, like that. We learned about that in that line. Like, we were like, holy shit.
And we also learned that Eminem...
He did his homework.
And we also learned that Eminem stopped fucking MGK from going on Shade 45.
But we knew that. We already knew that. But the world knew that. You're not an M fan. The world already knew all that.
I didn't.
We've known that for years.
And that's some bullshit.
That was already in the media.
That's some petty fucking shit. That's some bitch nigga shit on Eminem's part. That is a bitch
I think that he... You know, originally he did say to M, I will side with you here. He did say to M originally that, you know, I mean this in the utmost respect because M is the king after all, or whatever. M is the king of rap, some shit like that. Now, I do think M took it a little harshly, but it was also his 16-year-old daughter. So, I mean, put yourself in a situation. You've never had a 16-year-old daughter. I've never either myself. But I'm trying to empathize.
If I'm Eminem and someone says something about my 16,
I'm trying to empathize here, and I'm trying to think if I have a 16-year-old daughter and someone's talking about her. I'm gonna be a little protective.
If I have a 16-year-old daughter and I'm at Eminem status, I'm not gonna sit there and try and fucking stop another young white male from succeeding. I'm going to fight you. I'm going to run up on you and fight.
Nobody wants, but he doesn't want the world reminded about Haley. You know what I mean? He doesn't want, like, he chose that life to support her. He never wanted her. She doesn't want that lifestyle. She wants to be a regular person. Everywhere she goes, she doesn't want to hear, oh, Eminem's your dad, this and that. So when he brought it up, he probably got pissed at that, pissed that she was 16. So.
Who
I
fucking
mean,
who?
That's
no one told you to follow your dreams at rap. You told yourself that. No one told you to have a daughter. No one told you to put your daughter in the media. No one told you to put your daughter in your fucking songs. You perpetuated that energy for someone to say some shit like that about your daughter. Whether it may be disrespectful or not, no one told you to put your fucking daughter in the limelight. No one told you to be the megastar that you are now today. So if you can't handle as being one of the most controversial artists of all time, if you can't handle a fucking dig that small, when you done said the most disrespectful shit about niggas' families, careers, faces, imagery, all that, then you're a bitch. You're a punk. You're a fuck nigga. Don't sit here and try and stop my success just because I've made a fucking joke about your daughter when you done blatantly disrespected everybody in the fucking rap game and other universes of music. You're petty. You're mad. You're a petty, mad, old fucking man. No one gives a shit about any of the disses that Eminem said. Not one of the niggas that Eminem dissed feel some type of way about the Eminem diss. So, in that being said, Eminem was not successful in dissing any fucking body.
No.
Eminem is salty.
No.
Eminem is fucking salty, and that's why he fucking made all of those fucking disses. Not Lil Yachty, Pump, none of them niggas are going to diss Eminem, and it's not because
because
of their,
they. No.
it has nothing. It has nothing to do with
If
their
anybody knows
caliber.
Eminem, right, and they know what he's capable of doing, nobody's gonna diss him. They're just gonna laugh it up because that's what M does. We all know that's what he does. He made his whole career off.
M is
That's
a
what he
fucking
does.
washed up troll. M is a washed up fucking troll, and he wants attention.
I don't agree with
All
that.
of his, most of his fucking content is him searching for fucking attention. He doesn't have any. He barely has any type of conscious subject, any conscious content.
So here's my thing, bro.
Eminem
we're
is
up
not
here-
that great of a fucking artist.
We're up here running a show about mental health, right?
Yeah.
All
And I
right.
can name you 10 niggas right now that attack
So-
mental health better than
But you're
Eminem
not.
does.
You don't know my point yet. So we're up here running a show about mental health, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if we're running a show about mental health, you're sitting here attacking him. Maybe he's going through shit. Maybe he's going through shit that you've never been through. Maybe he's going through shit in an older age, trying to stay relevant on the one thing that will feed him and his family.
He's fed though. He's got generational money from rap. Only rap. He's outsold more artists in rap history.
You
Anybody.
can't. But the way he used to sell, you can't sell anymore. The whole shit's changed.
That's not because of
you
him
have to
though.
tour.
That's because of streaming.
Right. But
M's
he
not
still
going-
has to get that money
M's
because
not
that's the
going
one.
broke.
He's too
M
old.
is
What do you
not
think he's going to
going
go get a
broke.
job at the
M
corner store?
is not going broke anytime soon.
I'm not saying he's going broke. I'm just saying that
He owns a whole radio station.
this is his career, so we can't shit on a success that he made.
This isn't his career.
This is his career.
It's
This
not
is
his
what he
career.
made his career off.
This
Then
is
what's
his
it- what-
fucking- this
if
is
rap's
his
not his
fucking
career, then what
obsession.
is it?
This is his fucking obsession because he doesn't know what else to do. Because he doesn't have a mind for business. He doesn't have a mind for creativity outside of rap. He doesn't have
a mind to lead. He doesn't have a mind to lead a camp of guys that need help to coach and mentor people. He doesn't have that. But he does, he does have other business endeavors like Shade. I think he's doing like movies, like Southpaw. He did that movie. He's got a couple other movies that he's working on. Like he definitely has a business mind, but he's not the most business savvy when it comes to like building an army, so to speak, like a Rick Ross or a Hove or something, right? But we're not going to sit here and shit on him. I'm not about to let you sit up on air and talk shit on this whole man's shit
The only
because
poppin' nigga on his label is Boogie.
that's not true at all. Slaughterhouse, they are the four nicest MCs in the world besides him.
I'm saying poppin'. I don't give a fuck.
And Griselda's nasty too.
I don't care about how nasty they are. I care about what they're doing that makes them relevant. I could give a fuck about how lyrical they are because I already give them the respect for that. I think Crooked is a better.
Well, that's the
rapper
problem.
than
You've
Eminem.
never got to see all these other Slaughterhouse projects that were going to come out because Budden said, "I don't want to release music anymore."
Then that's their fault, and it's Eminem's fault for not being as militant of a man to try and push Budden, and it's also Eminem's fault for not firing that man off his label.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the root of the problem over there. I don't know what's happening, but I'm
Emma's a
not going to sit
crybaby,
here.
bro.
I'm not going to sit here and talk shit
Emma's
just
a
because
crybaby.
just because it's popular to do because a few people don't know anything about him and they're going to sit and talk shit on him
Emma's a
because it's a
crybaby.
popular thing because they hear that.
I'm not gonna sit here and take away
I
from.
form my own opinion.
I'm not gonna sit here and take away anything from M's lyrical skill because if Eminem and MGK rap battled, Eminem would blow him the fuck out the water, out of the fucking water. But since I'm the MC that I am, and I peep bars and I peep lyricism, and I know how great of a lyricist Eminem is, that R. Kelly line that he tried to throw at MGK is not clever to me.
So pick an MGK line better than them.
The whole
That's what I
song
need
is
you to
better than
do.
Eminem's diss. Because he didn't need to
He's
sing.
got balls. That's it.
He didn't need to use wordplay. He didn't need to use any type of clever lyricism. MGK spoke facts the whole time. MGK spoke about how he called Diddy and tried to ask for an apology, which is a bitch nigga move because of who Eminem is. He talked about how MGK was blackballed off Shade 45 because of M, which is a bitch nigga move. Every diss that Eminem had on that album is a bitch nigga move because not one of them niggas care about what an old ass washed up fucking.
Oh, they
MC
care.
has
They
to
just
say.
can't do anything
They
about
don't care, bro.
They
Lil
do care.
Yachty is not losing sleep over an old ass man putting him in a song.
If anything, he's gonna thank him. If M shouts you out on a record,
Lil Pump
you're
went
gonna
on-
appreciate it.
Lil Pump went on Eminem's Twitter, went on Eminem's IG and was like, "Thank you, I deserve that."
Exactly. That's what I'm
None
saying.
of them niggas care.
So I think he does care. He thanked him.
Whenever you drop a diss, whenever Eminem or
he didn't
someone
diss.
else,
He didn't diss Yachty. He just said he's not for him. He said he's not going to listen to Yachty. He didn't diss him.
But
that's why he said thank you. If he said the same shit to me, I would have said the same shit Yachty said. Thank you.
But did he not say that these niggas all imitate Lil Wayne, which really,
They
to a
do.
certain degree, is true.
They do.
To a certain
You already
degree,
know that.
To a certain degree, it is true, but that's only with aesthetic. We're not about to sit here and act like Pump is as lyrical as Lil Wayne, because he's not.
No, we're not talking about that. We're talking about them following the whole sipping the lean and getting face
But
tattoos
why
and all
does
that
M
shit.
care so fucking much? That's not any.
M has respect for Wayne. M has a relationship
But
with
what
Wayne.
I'm
But
asking
we're not
you-
about the. If
what
you're
I'm
talking about
asking you-
facts, like MGK said, that is a fact.
But why
Can't take
does
that
he
away.
care? Why the fuck does he care?
Because
about
it's
what
rap and he's rapping. He
That's
cares
so
about the
stupid.
culture that
That's
he's
so
in.
fucking dumb.
He's going to talk about the shit that goes on around
The culture
him.
isn't going anywhere though. No one's
What do you
doing-
mean?
The culture isn't going anywhere. Lyricism is not.
What
going
are we
anywhere.
talking about? Because I'm lost.
We're talking about aesthetic.
stay
we're
on the
talking,
topic.
We're talking about aesthetic. We're talking about lyricism. We're talking about competitiveness. We're talking about
Okay.
everything that
So
makes
what
up rap. None of that shit is going anywhere. Eminem is
Okay.
so afraid that lyricism is going to fade, but none of that shit is going anywhere. Kendrick Lamar is the most lyrical nigga in the fucking
I'll give you
world
that. Now,
right
what's
now.
your point?
J. Cole is the most lyrical nigga in the fucking world right now.
I'll give you that.
Eminem
And what's your
needs
point?
to shut the fuck up about these mumble
But
rappers.
they diss everybody too. So what are you saying?
Who disses who?
Kendrick
I've never-
and J. Cole
I've
diss
never-
everybody in all their
I've never heard Kendrick.
Kendrick
diss
and J. Cole subliminally diss. M's just the only person that has the balls to say it to everybody.
Who's Kendrick dissing?
M is the only one that has the balls.
Who's
I will.
Kendrick
We
dissing?
will. As soon as we wrap this up today, I'm gonna show you every Kendrick and J. Cole verse, and they diss everybody. They're basically saying the whole world is retarded. Wake up, you people are stupid. This is what's going on. You people don't recognize what the fuck you're doing to the world.
That's not a diss.
And
That's a fact.
no,
That's not a diss.
but that's exactly
If
what
you're
M
not
does.
saying-
M just does it in it. You see how it's got you heated?
If
You
you're
see
not-
how it's got
if
you
you're
heated?
not saying my name,
That's
it's
why
not a
he
diss.
does it, because it fucking sparked an emotion in your mind. It's got you to think.
If you're not saying my name, it's not a diss.
There's two reasons
Oh.
people are mad. One, because they can't rap as well as Eminem, so they hate on him.
Who's mad?
Okay? The bigger the star you are, the more hate you have.
Can you tell me?
And that's why
can you
he's
tell
got it,
me how
because
many
he's the
of these
biggest.
niggas- Can you tell me who's mad at Eminem for not being a better rapper than Eminem?
The few
Who's
people
mad?
that I've talked to up here are. Alright? That's one.
The
Number
few-
two.
I don't give a fuck about being a better rapper than him.
I'm not talking about you. But listen, that's one. Because they can't rap better, so they hate, right? That's everyone's
that's a
go-to.
bitch nigga
That's
move.
why my movement is stop hating on everything, because everybody hates on everything.
If you hate on Eminem because you can't rap better than him, you're a faggot.
Alright? And then two is because nobody knows how to relate to the lyricist shit anymore. You know, the lyrical shit. Lyrical spiritual miracle shit. Whatever miracle shit. So all these new cats wanna basically, you know, try to blackball him from the game. You know what I mean? But they can't, because he's already a megastar and he has the success that
I don't
nobody can
see
replace.
how any of these new niggas are trying to form a vendetta against Eminem.
No,
None
no,
of these
they're
niggas
not
care.
purposely. They're not. You're missing my point. They're not intentionally like teaming up and saying, "Let's get rid of
Let's fuck
Eminem."
up
They're
Eminem
just
first.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that they're making different music, so he has every right to feel that way. Because if that's the music he knows and loves and grew up off that, he could do that until he's 97. I don't give a fuck. That's okay. You don't have to make that. That's okay. Why do you have a problem with him being lyrical? He just he wants to keep that alive, and I have no problem with that, because as much as hip hop has evolved and is going to still evolve, we still need to have the roots of hip hop. If we don't have, if just lyricism is just dead altogether, number one, we have just pure laziness at that point, and we're all just going to be saying like, I'm not going to ever spit like that, and I'll smack the shit out of someone the day they try to tell me to do it. Like, you need to do this, and it'll help your career. Suck my dick.
Suck
Okay?
my dick,
Fill
for
in the
real.
blanks. Listen, I'm never going to do that. So I have no problem with M keeping lyricism alive, because that's the shit I fucking was raised off,
either,
bro.
but the way that
You know what I
he
mean?
goes about it is fucking petty.
You're going to sit and shit on the very thing that I sit in my room every day and try to craft bars and think witty and use wordplay and punchlines and all that shit. And I don't do it on every song, you know that. But like, when I do that and all the time that I've invested into that, you're going to say that nobody cares about that? I think you're mistaken, because there's a very big hip-hop culture out there. Rap, that side of rap is never going anywhere. People.
So Eminem needs to shut
And
up.
the thing I don't understand how you can say that. I just think you have a problem with M. Period. But the thing is,
I do have a
you
problem with it.
do it yourself. So how can you? You know what I mean? Like
It's not the fact that I don't care about.
Let's not
lyricism.
contradict what we do.
It's not
You
the
know
fact-
that's what we do.
It's not the fact that I don't care about lyricism. I care.
How
about
could you not be
lyricism.
inspired off of that man?
I'm not inspired
Everything
by
he
him because
does.
he's an old, washed-up, bitch-ass nigga. Because most of his career is based off him talking shit on other fucking people. Not once.
Has he talked shit on you though? So why are you so upset about
Because
it?
it's fucking garbage. Because it's garbage. It's stupid. It's shock value. Not
But how
once,
can you say he's dope and he's very good at rapping and say it's garbage in the same sentence?
Because
That's what I'm not understanding.
When I say
can't
that
understand
when I
that.
say that Eminem is the greatest rapper alive, I'm looking at him from a technical standpoint. When I
Technically
say,
meaning
when I,
what?
When I say from a technical standpoint that he's great, I'm talking about his lyricism. I'm talking.
So how's it garbage?
I'm
That's
talking
what I'm trying to figure
Let
out.
me finish. I'm talking about his lyricism. I'm talking about his metaphors. I'm talking about the conscious stuff that he has put out in the past. Stuff like Mosh, White America, shit like that. Survival even. Rap God.
He has
shit
newer
like that.
conscious shit. People don't understand
And that shit
but
was garbage. And that
It's
shit
not.
was garbage. His
It's not
delivery on
garbage.
it was blunt. The beats were garbage. When
You're entitled to that opinion,
When
though. I
I'm
don't-
saying when I say that Eminem is garbage, I'm talking about his beats. I'm talking about some of the things that he chooses to talk about.
I don't like all his beats.
I'm saying that I'm talking about his pop hits. I'm talking about his need to fucking go at other artists. I'm talking about his need to be politically incorrect on purpose.
He doesn't need to do anything. I'm going
If
to
he
tell you that
didn't
right now.
need to do
He
that,
doesn't
then why
need-
is half of his fucking success
He does-
based off of it?
Because he can. That's the
That's
difference.
stupid.
Because nobody will diss
My
him.
nigga, never
Because he
ever
is
will
better,
I
and everybody
ever-
knows that.
Never ever
That's
in
why.
my fucking life will I make a career off of dissing niggas.
Well,
and
then
that's what
that's where
Eminem
you're
has
different,
made it.
and
That's what
fine.
Eminem has made a career off
That's
of.
why we're all different artists.
He's corny.
At the end of the
He's
day.
fucking corny. When he goes out and disses people like Michael Jackson and George Bush and Ja Rule to a certain extent and all of these other rappers that he's dissed, it's fucking corny.
But let me
Dissing
explain
is
something.
corny.
But let me explain something. Now, here's the problem I have with that. And I always respect having a healthy debate with someone if we all do our homework. But I think you know this too. So here's the problem I'm having. I will respectively agree to disagree, and you are entitled to that opinion. My issue is the industry made him this way. You understand that? So he has every right to now diss everybody. Now, do I think he's milking every last
You're
drop
not
of it?
finna say
Yeah.
my name on
But
the
let
song
me
and not
tell
be
you
up
something,
with
bro. Listen, you're taking it somewhere that it doesn't have to go, and it's
You're not finna say my
irrelevant to what
name
we're
on the
talking
song
about.
and not meet up with
So let me explain something. The industry made him like that, right? All he ever wanted to do was rap. The industry said, "Nah, you sound like Nas and AZ or whatever." He was in the underground Detroit scene. He was rapping a certain way, and he sounded dope as it was on Infinite. And he had to change up his whole shit. He had to change up his whole thing. Okay, so that whole like dissing everybody shit was basically him. He almost killed himself. He almost gave up. He almost quit. You've been there before. Think about it. Like,
and I never dissed a nigga.
okay, so you can relate. You can relate in a sense. So understand when someone's telling you you're not about to take the career that you've basically spent your entire life up to this point focusing on, perfecting your skills for that. So they tried to basically tell him you're not going to rap. You sound too much like these guys. He said fuck that, and he came back hard and he started dissing everybody. That's what blew him up. It was a success. Not only did it work for him, and he knew that, and he needed to keep doing it, but that's his whole shit. People forget
That's garbage.
what happened. Nobody, because I'll tell you what.
That's garbage.
Because I'll tell you what.
Sorry.
When someone tries to take something away from me, I'm going to go harder too. It's a sport, bro. To him, it's a sport. Some people look at hip-hop as a sport.
To me,
Like,
that's fucking stupid.
sometimes you need to prove that you are better than somebody. It's a sport. It's fun. It's for fun.
If I need
Not
to
everything has to be hostile, like we're going to go kill each other. It's a sport. He doesn't look at it like he's dissing you to come at your whole shit. It is a sport. He's even said it on interviews himself. He does it and laughs about it, and that's it. And he thinks that his fans and everybody that he actually disses should laugh it up too. It's a sport. He's
Fuck
saying
that.
it to be funny. When him and D12 came out, their whole shit was, we're going to come up with alter egos and these personas to basically say the most wild shit. Like Bizarre said, you know, he fucks his mom in the ass. Do I think that's crazy? Like shit like that, like fucking his dead mom in the something. I don't know. But like just that as an example, like they all came up with like alter egos and just different shit. So when he's Slim Shady, yes, he disses people. That's, you have to understand the root of where it comes from, though. You think that he is just out here trying to hurt people, but at the same time,
the only niggas that
what I will say is he's mentally ill. You know that. You know that.
The only niggas he ever had a right to diss was Benzino and Ja Rule.
All right, and that's fine. And they once tried to shut him down, like he's doing the MGK thing. And do I think it's right? No, I don't think it's right. But so, you know, I'll be a real person up here and I'll say, do I think everything he does is right? No. I can't side with everything he does. But I will say this. In his defense, if I'm going to sit in this room, because I've listened to this man for years, I will say this. The dude had a lot of people try to blackball him. So if you have people try to blackball you and cut you out of something that is your whole life, you're going to fight and you're going to put your all into it. And you're going to prove to people why they should have never done that.
But I'm not going to put their name in a song.
Well, that's just you.
That's stupid. That's
Okay,
garbage.
but some people, like I said, look at it as a sport. Just like there's NBA, you know, all-stars that talk about each other all the time. Like they're better in that. You know what I mean?
You're not finna
What would it be without that?
You're
It's
not-
competitive nature.
You're not finna say you a better artist than me.
This is
Put
why
my name in a song.
having a conversation with you is it's actually a beautiful thing. Like we could sit here and get mad all we want, but it's a beautiful thing because the culture has changed and shifted so much that I'm not even that much older than you. I'm a little bit older than you, and here we are. And I look at hip hop the same way the older cats do it in a competitive nature. Some of these new cats do too. But just talking to you, I'm seeing how much it has changed. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't have to come to guns and shit all the time. It doesn't have to come to people killing people.
If I'm going to be in competition with a nigga and feel like my music is better than him, I'm going to make better music than him. I'm not going to put...
And I respect that. I can't argue with that.
I'm not going to put his name in a song and talk about how much of a better rapper.
But he came up as a battle rapper, bro. You have to understand that the battle rap community... He does, though.
Battle rap is corny.
He does.
Battle rap is fucking
Battle
corny.
rap is dope.
You're not finna sit here and say all this nut shit to
Now,
my face. Talk about how my mom deserved to die, my uncle is this, da-da-da-da-da.
He doesn't do that.
I don't give a fuck about none of that. You're not about to disrespect my name on a song, period. Or to my face, period, about my craft.
Alright, well, it's not about you, bro.
It's not happening. It's just not happening. That shit is corny to me. And any artist other than Eminem who does that shit is a corny bitch. And even in Tyler the Creator's earlier career, when he was dissing this fucking one blog, and he was dissing Chris Brown, and he was dissing all these other motherfuckers to prove to people that he was really like a good artist, is corny, because we all know that Tyler is a good artist. Tyler never had to diss anyone in his fucking life, and for Eminem to sit there on a song and call Tyler the Creator a faggot.
Tyler did diss a lot of people. Just so
he
you
did
know
diss
that.
a lot of people,
and he was actually inspired by M, and yeah, and M has a
and,
lot of respect for him. By the way, just so
Tyler,
you know,
and all the shit that Tyler said when he was dissing all those niggas is corny. It's corny. It's stupid.
He used to diss like Bruno Mars, and
it's corny. Because if you have no reason to diss a man, don't put his name in a song.
Bro, it's just a different, like, it's a different lane in hip hop, bro.
That shit is
You know what I mean?
corny,
And that's and the same feeling you have is the same feeling I have. Now, I'm not gonna sit up here and publicly humiliate and start screaming and yelling like you are about this to all these mumble rappers, but the same way you feel about that, you don't like battle rap. I don't like mumble rap. So
I like
we'll
battle
agree
rap
to
if
disagree.
we're keeping it to content. I like battle rap if we're keeping it to
battle rap
metaphors and
always
bars.
is content.
I like battle rap.
That's all it is.
I like battle rap if we're talking about a rapper. If we're talking about how good of a rapper you are. You talking about me personally.
But that's the whole point. They gotta come at each other personally to tear them down.
That's fucking gay.
It's a sport.
That's gay.
They have to win. They
That's
do
gay.
whatever it takes to win.
That's gay, and you're making. And that's
They don't
gay.
have to take it physical. You can do something,
Nah.
right?
I want to
Just
fight
like.
you if you say my name. Period.
All right. Well, it doesn't always have to be that way. Listen, hip hop is an outlet. You know this as an artist. You should at least. Hip hop is an outlet where you don't have to bring emotion into it. It can be fun as a sport. Sometimes people have fun with that.
Hip-hop,
It's so different, bro. Because
hip-hop
the way
saved
you're
my
thinking
fucking-
about it, I get what you're saying, but what you're not understanding, it's just because it's the age gap. The age gap. I'm telling you right now, because back then you would have had more of an appreciation for it, because that's what it was.
That shit is corny, bro.
Nah,
Even
bro.
these mumble rappers who go on Instagram and talk shit to each other is fucking corny.
That is corny.
So I don't think it has anything
It is
to
corny,
do with
but
the
I
age
think
gap.
their whole shit is corny.
I don't think
like
it has anything to do with my age gap. I think it has everything to do with how I am as an artist. If I feel like I'm a better artist than you and you diss me on a song, I'm not going to reply to you. I'm either going to make a better song than you or hop in your inbox and ask for your fucking location. Because you obviously feel.
What is that going to prove, though?
It's going to prove that if you have something, if you have all this shit to say about me as a man in a song, then I expect you as a man to pull up to me.
You're missing the point, though. You're missing the point,
bro. Hip hop is made off a competition, and it was made off of gully ass niggas, and it was made off of niggas who were really beat you the fuck up.
It really wasn't, actually. As a matter of fact, it was made as a fun sport, to be honest with you.
Garbage,
and
bro.
People made personas. Before we had actual official gangsters, like real straight gangsters in the game, it was the gangster rap, the so-called gangster rap. It was all a fraud. Okay, it was an image, so people would like it. Okay, because of the riots and the shit were actually going on in the streets. People created that. You have to understand like where hip hop really started. It was made to be fun and a sport. MCing back in the day, you had to prove that you were a better MC. You know what I mean? People would battle. KRS-One. Are we going to talk trash on KRS-One? Because KRS-One used to get up there and shut people down.
So saying your mom can suck my dick and I hope your daughter die makes you a better rapper than me?
Who's saying hope your daughter die?
No, because that's what
Who's saying hope your daughter die?
Because that's what battle... I'm not saying that's what specifically niggas say. I'm saying that's how intense battle rap can get.
It doesn't.
And
nobody's saying that. But people will say some shit and get under your skin.
Like that,
absolutely. And I respect them for getting under their competitor and opponent's skin,
I'm going to punch you in your fucking face if you say some nut shit like that to me, bro.
Well, then you're different, bro. That's different. That's
mouth.
what hip hop is, bro. You have to understand the culture that we're in. That's what it is.
And hip hop is also, bro. When niggas was dissing motherfuckers like Redman and
proving that you can physically beat someone up proves nothing. When someone says something and it's for a now if they're just attacking your manhood, just to attack your manhood, that's one thing, right? If they're just doing that just to solely bring you down because they don't like you, that's one thing. That is personal. But if it's in the name of hip-hop, the rap culture was created to be a fun sport. It's the same reason people dribble a fucking ball up the court and dunk, for the competitive nature of who's better and the fans get excited. That's what it is, bro.
So
hip-hop is a sport,
dog. So Ja Rule saying that shit about Haley was a sport, huh?
It probably was, yeah. They
fuck that.
Ja Rule.
Fuck that.
Ja Rule took it.
Fuck that.
Ja Rule took it too far.
Fuck that. If you put my son's name in a song, I'll murder you.
But that's what I'm saying. On the other end, if you're saying about him, yeah, I think he took it too far. I think he made it more personal, right? There's a certain fine line you don't cross. Like he says, M said it. There's a certain line you just don't cross. I heard him say Haley's name in a song, and I just lost it.
Eminem has crossed those lines hundreds of times. And the fucking
he won't bring people's kids into it, bro.
It don't matter, bro. He's brought people's personal lives into it, and that's fucking distasteful. Sure. For him to
just spits facts.
For him to put Michael Jackson in a song like that in the Just Lose It fucking music video and disrespect that man. And have that fucking spoof of him and his nose falling off and looking for it in the club is disrespectful. It's not funny. It's disrespectful. For Tyler, the Creator, to disrespect Bruno Mars' music, his craft, is disrespectful. For anybody to disrespect another man's craft without having the credentials to prove that you are better than that man is disrespectful.
But he has the credentials to prove it. That's my whole
point.
Okay,
then use it.
So that's what he does. Competitively, he does do it.
Don't say my name in a song. Prove that you are a better songwriter than me. Don't say I imitate somebody's aesthetic or somebody's rhyme scheme and say my name in a song. Prove to me that you are better than me. Don't say my name in no fucking song because it doesn't prove that you are a better rapper. It proves that you are a petty fuck ass nigga. Because not one little Yachty, not one little Pump, not one of these niggas except for MGK give a fuck about what Eminem had to say about them. Because these niggas are not washed up like him. These niggas don't give a fuck about dissing. These niggas give a fuck about their brand. These niggas give a fuck about putting out good music.
So why?
And Eminem hasn't put out good music in the past 10 years. All he's put out is a bunch of wordplay.
Says you or says you who hasn't listened to him, or says all the people in your circle?
Says me, bro.
Says you?
Says me.
So you've checked and listened to it?
Yes, bro. No. I don't sit there and say this shit about
So that's like, I feel like you commenting on him and his music is like me commenting on Lil Pump when I've heard maybe like a 10-second clip.
I've heard enough of Eminem to understand that Eminem really only says bullshit.
That's incredible.
White America.
Because I've never heard anybody that's ever
bro.
listened to all his shit. I've never actually heard say that.
Bro, White America, Mosh, Brain Damage, Role Model, fucking Kim,
right?
Drug Ballad, Beautiful, Survival. He has shit that makes him that people gravitate to because it's emotional, because it's about his life, and that is the Eminem I respect.
Okay.
The Eminem that is vulnerable and the Eminem that can admit that he is a human is the Eminem that I respect.
Okay.
The pop culture Eminem, the just lose it Eminem, the motherfucker that disrespects people's legacies and disrespects people's names and songs, is the Eminem I do not respect. Because he only does it for shock value. He doesn't do it to try and prove that he's a better artist than these people.
No, he does it to prove that he can still rap, because a lot of people say that he's not.
You don't need to put a nigga's name
artist.
in a song to prove that you can still rap. Especially if you're Eminem. Just put out good fucking music. I don't want to hear you saying a nigga's name in a song to prove that you are a better rapper than him.
Maybe you just have different goals in the game. Like to be a so-called GOAT, you kind of have to prove that you're worthy of it.
No, the fuck.
Before your legacy ends, you have to prove that you can rap better. Yes, you absolutely do. You don't get to be a GOAT if you can't rap better than everyone.
Because Kendrick Lamar has barely ever said a nigga's name in a song.
That's not true at all.
And Kendrick Lamar is a fucking GOAT.
That's not true at all.
Name me one song right now that Kendrick has said a nigga's name in.
I'm gonna pull something up.
And diss that man.
I'll pull something up. Keep talking.
Half of Eminem's legacy is based off him dissing niggas.
Absolutely.
And if Kendrick Lamar has dissed someone, it doesn't fucking matter. Because
Kendrick Lamar dissed the whole fucking culture in Control.
That's not a diss, bro.
No, yes it is.
That's not a diss because he didn't say anything about these niggas' personal lives.
Yes,
all he said was I'm coming after you niggas. All he said was I'm coming after you niggas.
Right.
All he said was this is a competition and I'm coming after you niggas. I'm homeboys with you niggas, but this is a competition. He didn't say Meek Mill does too many Percocets. He didn't say Big Sean is a dick sucking nigga for Ariana Grande. He didn't say Tyler the Creator was a faggot.
That's not his lane. But he still is cocky enough to come out with Control and tell the whole world how he's better than everybody, and I respect him for it. And that's the competitive nature of hip-hop.
He didn't say that he was better than the niggas. He said, I'm coming for you niggas. He said, I'm coming for you niggas, and you better be ready, because I'm coming for you niggas. I'm going to prove...
He said he is better in the whole verse.
He said, I'm usually homeboys with the same niggas I'm rhyming with, but this is hip-hop, and these niggas should know what time it is. That doesn't sit... Not any part of that line says that, oh, I'm going to be a better MC than you. Kendrick Lamar became a better MC because he put in more work. Because he put in more work on his craft. Control does not staple him as a better MC. His craft and his hard work and the sonics and the lyricism that Kendrick Lamar holds makes him a better MC than all these niggas.
Bro, listen to me.
Control does not have anything to do with any of Kendrick Lamar's discography. And Kendrick Lamar would still be a better artist than all of these niggas if he did not put out Control. Not because of the diss, but because of the work that he puts in. Eminem has not put in any work in the last decade. All that Eminem has done is rhyme words together in a fancy manner and come up with very impressive metaphors. Just like Joe Budden, I am a content nigga.
This is Kendrick dissing mumble rappers and anybody popping pills in the game. You ready? I don't smoke crack, motherfucker, I sell it. Bitch, everything I rap is a quarter piece to your melon. So if you have a relapse, just relax and pop in my disc. Don't you pop me the fucking pill, I'ma pop you, then give you this.
How was that a diss? How was that a diss?
Tell Flex drop a bomb on this shit. So many bombs ring the alarm like Vietnam on this shit. So many bombs make Farrakhan think this Saddam in this bitch.
One on a time I bombing and mom and bombing them and watching the kids. I'm in the destruction mode of the gold exists. I'm impotent like the Pope. I'm a Muslim on Pope. I'm Machiavelli's offspring. I'm the king of New York, king of the coast. One hand I juggle in both. The juggernaut's holding your jugular. You take me.
Now that right there, king of the coast, can be disrespectful towards anybody. Okay, people that have been in the game for years, right?
It's not a direct diss.
The juggernauts All in
The
your
juggernauts all
jugular.
in
You
your
take
jugular,
me for
you take me
jokes.
for jokes live in the basement. Church
church
pews
pews
and funeral faces, cardiac bracelets.
Right.
For my women friends, I'm in Vegas. Who the fuck y'all thought it was supposed to be? Even if Phil Jackson came back, still no coaching me. I'm uncoachable, I'm unsociable. Fuck y'all clubs, fuck your Instagram, yo blah 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 can gobble these nuts. Swallow.
Who do you think he's talking about right there?
Swallow.
Who do you think he's talking about?
He's just.
It's called a subliminal diss. This is the fucking problem I have. Everybody comes at M for actually having the balls to speak up on shit, but everybody subliminally disses and everybody just gives them the fucking pass.
That shit is garbage.
Give people the fucking credit they deserve when they have the balls to diss you and say
any
who the
diss.
fuck you are and what you
He
did.
doesn't deserve any credit for this.
No, he does.
He doesn't.
That's called being ballsy.
doesn't
Okay, if you have the
deserve any
balls to
credit
come
for
at the whole
disrespecting
fucking
them.
world, this is why I respected Tupac. Because he dissed everybody and nobody said shit or did nothing. Who the fuck saying anything to
Nobody
him?
did anything
The only
to
person
Tupac.
that said shit was MGK, and I respect him for it.
Nobody did
Who the
anything
fuck else is dissing
Nobody
Eminem?
did anything to Pac because they knew Suge Knight was a crazy motherfucker.
Right.
Tupac
right.
was a bitch
right.
in real life, bro.
Suge Knight was the Eminem of running a label.
Tupac-
Nobody wanted to fuck with him, right?
Tupac
Right?
was a
Right or
punk
wrong?
in real life, bro.
Huh?
Tupac was a punk in real life, bro.
No. Nobody wanted to test Pac.
Because he was with Suge.
Nobody wanted to test Pac.
Because he was with Suge. No one wanted to test Suge.
Nah.
And Tupac just happened to be beside him.
That's not true.
You can't even label that as a diss because Kendrick Lamar was talking about the
I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna upset a lot of people.
They can suck my dick. I don't
You're gonna
care.
upset a lot of
they
people,
can
bro.
suck my dick. If you have a problem with what I'm saying about Eminem, I'll give you my address right now.
I'm not talking about Eminem. I'm talking about Pac, Eminem, all of it. The
I
whole
don't give
thing.
a fuck. Fight me. Fight me if you feel that way about a nigga's success
By
that
the
you
way,
are not part of.
Hendo's having a bad day aside from this shit. So
My bad day has nothing to do with this. This
does.
is how I always felt about Eminem. Because you cannot sit here and make a pathway to fame based off the backs of other niggas. I consider that shit cultural fucking appropriation.
read
If
that.
I'm a better
Read
rap-
that right there. Read that. Read it down. Read it from the top down. Read it. Please read it.
Bro, I
Read
know
it.
this whole
Just
fucking,
read it. Just
I
read
know
it.
this whole
Just
fucking
read
verse.
read it.
I know the whole verse, and it's not a fucking diss. It is Kendrick Lamar just stating that this is the universe of hip
The
hop.
rest
right
of
now.
y'all don't get involved. I ain't rocking no more designer shit. He basically states his favorite, right? Kendrick, Jigga, Nas, Eminem, Andre 3000, right? And then he says the rest of y'all don't get involved, and I ain't rocking no more designer shit. White tees and Nike Cortez. This red Corvette's anonymous. I'm usually homeboys with this. Like, do you understand? He's basically, and then he says, and that goes for Jermaine, Big Crit. He basically calls out everybody that he says, y'all can't test me. Jermaine Cole, Big Crit, Wale, Pusha T, Meek Mill, ASAP Rocky, Drake, Big Sean, J Electron, Tyler, Mac Miller. I got love for all of y'all, but I'm trying to murder you. Right? Come on now.
That's not a fucking diss.
That is a diss, bro. That's a
not a
compet.
diss.
This is a perfect example of what we're talking about. Actually, okay? You just have a problem with M, and I need you to admit that.
That's not a diss.
I think you partially did.
I fully admit the fact that
Right, you don't like him, so don't say you don't like
him
battle
personally.
rap.
It's not him.
Don't say you don't like battle rap because you're up here battling on the mic against everybody right now,
It's
telling
not-
them to suck your dick.
It's not him personally.
So what are you saying right
It's
now?
not
It
him
is
personally.
him personally.
It's not him personally.
It
I
is.
don't know that fucking
You
man.
never grew up listening to
I
him.
don't
You
know that
don't
fucking
like
man.
him, and that's
I
okay.
don't know that
You-
fucking man. I don't
Right.
know that fucking man.
You
And
can-
I don't give a fuck about that man.
You can respectfully say that. I have no problem with that.
I don't give a fuck about that man.
But I'm trying to
the reason
explain
I don't
to you-
like that man as a rapper is because half of his fucking legacy is based off him disrespecting grown-ass
What
men
does that have
he
to do
would
with you?
never fight.
What does that have to do with you?
It has everything to do with me because as a rapper...
How do you know what he will or won't do?
Because he hasn't done it.
You just said you don't
because
know
he
the man.
hasn't done it. Because he hasn't done it. If Eminem really felt some type of way about some niggas saying some shit about him and about his daughter, he would have...
He doesn't want to. He looks at it as a sport.
Then he's a bitch.
That's hip-hop.
Then he's a bitch.
The hip-hop that we all grew up on is a sport.
The hip-hop I grew up on had nothing to do with this.
Nah, the hip-hop I grew up on was actually fun and it was a sport and we weren't fucking talking whack and saying dumb shit.
You a bitch-ass nigga if you say a nigga's name in a song and won't fight him. And Eminem hasn't fought not one of
How do
these
you
niggas.
know what he will or won't do? Nobody
'Cause
ever
he hasn't
wanted
done
to
it in
fight
his
him
whole fucking
because they
career.
know what he does is a sport. They know he does it for the
But you're
sport.
not about to take it to the street.
Who the fuck's fighting the king of basketball? Who's fighting LeBron?
LeBron James.
Who's fighting him?
If somebody,
Who's fighting him?
If I'm 6'10",
Who's testing him?
If I'm 6'10" and LeBron James say some disrespectful shit to me,
Who's fighting
on the
him?
court, I'm going
Who
to fight
fighting him?
I'm going to fight you.
Okay, so am I going to sit here and say he won't fight anyone? How the fuck do you know? Who's fighting him?
Look at his career.
Who's fighting him?
Has Eminem caught the fade with any of these niggas? No, he hasn't.
Has LeBron?
Because he doesn't. LeBron, no one says anything.
Do you know why
disrespectful
Eminem
about
hasn't
LeBron.
caught the feed?
Because he's a
Because
bitch.
nobody wants to test him because
Because he's a
they
bitch.
know he's doing it for the sport.
He's a bitch,
They
bro.
respect because he looks at it. Why do you think he's the best technical rapper? It is a sport.
I think he's the best technical rapper because of the metaphors he's come up with, because of the content.
Nah, dude, listen, keep that same energy. Listen, you proved your point. You're not an Eminem fan, but you can't, every other day
I'm not
you
a
change.
diss fan.
Since I met you, you've said you like Eminem, and look, this
I'm
is
not
all,
a diss
you know
fan.
I have all love and respect for you, but on this radio station, we're going to clear it up right now. Listen, you every other day you said, nah, he's the best, he's crazy, he's the best, but then another day you're like, fuck him. You can't, that doesn't make any sense.
Fuck
Either
him.
he's the best to you, or it's fuck him. You got to pick one. Because that's the same shit we were saying with the Mac
fuck
shit.
Him for being a dissing ass
Pick
nigga.
your side. I need you to pick.
Fuck him for being a dissing ass nigga. Fuck him for being a petty
So fuck
ass
him.
nigga.
So you don't
fuck him for being a fucking shock value pop culture ass whore. But he is the best rapper alive due to his technical fucking skill. But his music is garbage. Eminem as a rapper is
You're
not...
entitled to that opinion.
Eminem as a rapper is bodying every fucking body. Eminem as a technical rapper is bodying every fucking body. Eminem as an artist, as a musician, as a producer is not better than Kanye West, A$AP Rocky, Rakim, KRS-One, J. Cole, Kendrick Lamar, Big Sean, Mac Miller, XXXTentacion. He's not a better artist than none of these niggas. Because
You're
none of
entitled to
these
that
niggas, not one of these niggas have ever had to make a fucking dollar bill off of dissing another nigga. Half of Eminem's legacy is based off being a petty fucking bitch boy and dissing niggas but not fighting them. Half of Eminem's career is based off him putting celebrities like Michael Jackson, Ellen DeGeneres, fucking, what's that one nigga's, the gay nigga that he actually ended up doing a song with. Half of his career is based off making fun of these
Let
niggas.
me ask you something.
And I don't fucking respect that. As a fucking lyricist, I do not and will not ever respect a fucking lyricist, especially someone as good as Eminem, making a fucking dollar bill off of making fun of legends.
All right, now let me...
It's not tasteful. It's not cute. It's not funny. You are disrespecting people's fucking lives. Kendrick's fucking diss that you want to call it is not a fucking diss. It is a fucking alarm for actual talented people. When he made that Control verse, it was not him dissing people. It was him telling people, get the fuck up and stand at attention because I am coming for the fucking crown.
Right,
I don't have to diss you in a song.
Let me-
I don't have to disrespect your life. I don't have to say anything personal about you. All I have to do is make better music than you.
All
If
right.
if Eminem kept it to making better music than niggas, then I would have full-on respect for him. I
Let
don't
me ask
have
you a
respect
question.
for this man because he's a bitch.
Right, you
Period.
said that 150 times just now. Now, let me ask you a question real quick. So check it out. So now I understand that you have no tolerance for comedy or any kind of
It's not
sport
comedy,
or
dog.
anything.
It's disrespectful.
Okay, all right, that's fine. So you don't like comedy. So let's
I
talk
didn't
about
say
all.
isn't funny to me.
Now let's talk
The
about all.
rap
No,
isn't funny to me.
no. Fuck rap. Let's talk about all the comedians. The comedians in the game. Like actual comedians, not rappers. We're not talking about rap anymore. So when people diss people, when people come at people's livelihood and joke about their life, you know, whether we're talking about Kevin Hart or Chris Rock or anybody saying something about someone else, making fun of you know, their just anything. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So you don't respect that.
Comedy and rap don't have shit to do.
No. I'm not talking about rap right now. I'm just saying, like, we're touching on something totally new right now for a change, for a second. So you don't actually, would you say that you get a laugh out of that shit when comedians say something?
No,
Or
I don't.
you don't?
No, I don't get a laugh out of a grown-ass man saying something or making fun of a grown-ass man. I don't.
Okay.
And I never fucking will.
All right. So I just wanted to make sure. So I'm saying in general, you don't.
That shit is garbage.
So you think when a
That
comedian
shit is
gets
food.
on stage and says something and everybody laughs about it and they say something about someone else,
If you say something
that's not
about
okay?
a nigga's personal life and clown it when that nigga's going through something and has faced adversity over it and you get a laugh out of it, you are a fucking bully. You're not a fucking comedian. You are a fucking bully. And Eminem is a fucking bully. Because he has disrespected people that has never and will have and will never attack his legacy. Michael Jackson never attacked Eminem's legacy.
Michael Jackson did actually say a lot of bad shit about him.
That was after the fact.
No, it was before the fact. He said he had a lot of nasty shit to say about him. But I'm not going to get into that because I have all the respect for Michael Jackson.
And if he had something to say about Eminem, it was probably justified. Because half of Eminem's career, like I said, is based off shock value and trying to make people fucking attracted to him based off the nutty shit that he says.
As a lot of people's careers are.
And I don't listen to none of them niggas. I have not listened.
Drake?
I have not listened to Tyler the Creator's.
You're not a fan of Drake?
I have not listened to Tyler the Creator's album Goblin or Bastard in years because I've grown out of
that. You're not a fan of Drake?
Drake hasn't said anything shock value-ish like Eminem has.
Drake always says shock value, and Drake disses everybody.
Drake has never said anything
in a lot more of a subliminal manner.
Drake has never said anything about rape or drugging a woman or calling someone a faggot or saying anything like Eminem or Tyler the Creator has said. So Drake's shock value is completely different from Eminem's. Drake's shock value is tasteful.
So you don't like that type of rap? All right, cool. Let's move on.
That shit is garbage.
That's fine. That's fine. I think the whole world knows that you don't fuck with them, and you don't respect that lane of rap.
Because it's not a lane. It's a fucking avenue used to fucking put other artists down, and I don't fuck with that kind of shit. If you are a better artist and you feel like you're a better artist, don't say no nigga's name in the song. Prove that you are a better artist than him by making better music than him.
So Hendo's not with the disses. He doesn't respect or appreciate dissing in rap. So I think we came to our conclusion. This is good. That's good. You're entitled to that. I have no problem with that. That was a good debate. All right, for spitballing today, we're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and the Nike deal. So as far as Colin Kaepernick and the Nike deal goes, I'll start that one off and just say that
you're a racist if you're boycotting.
Everybody, I'm straight up gonna say this, like everybody that has a problem with Colin Kaepernick, his whole movement, what he did, I think that's not okay. Like I'm gonna say this right now, I think it is there's racism going on here. Like If you're gonna get rid, first of all, you people are retarded. If you bought a product, if you bought something, if you bought merchandise from Nike, and you got rid of that shit, only solely because Colin Kaepernick has to deal with Nike, you're a fucking idiot. Because you already purchased it, number one. So all it proves is that, one, you're racist. Two, you're an idiot. You're a stupid racist. So it's not really doing anything. You're standing up against something that you think is right. Again, here we go in the third conversation we're having today, or the fourth, and we're talking about the same shit. I'm going to say it the same way I said on the last two topics. You guys are doing it for the popularity, okay? It's the popular, cool thing to do right now. Everybody's saying, oh, I'm boycotting Nike, I'm getting rid of all my shit. You're just saying that because it's the fucking cool thing to do. And Shu is not for that. I'm tired of it. And I know Hendo's not either. That's not okay. It's not cool. Like, don't be just hopping on waves and shit just because you think it's cool because everyone else is doing it around you. Be your own fucking person. Okay? I'll respect you way more. Like, you want to say anything about Colin Kaepernick and the Nike situation?
Colin Kaepernick is a fucking legend. He shouldn't be doing football anymore.
Yo, his story should inspire people, bro.
Fact.
Straight up. Like, his story, wholeheartedly, like, I think it should inspire people. Like, because he actually felt like something was wrong. He feels like there's something wrong socially, racially, in our country. And he did something against it. And there is, right? But just because he had that feeling, and he could have a million people in his ear telling him he's wrong or it's not happening, but he felt so firmly and strongly about this, about his belief. Okay, he was so confident in it and in himself that he actually stood up against it. Okay? And he knew the kind of backlash he was going to get and the shit he was going to face for it, and he still did it and stood his ground. And basically, in my eyes, he is, and I know you're going to hate this, but he is a rebel. Right? Like,
to a certain degree.
He's a rebel, and like that shit right there. Like these are reasons why I'm not going to bring up the names because I'm not getting into that topic again. But there's certain people that are rebels, and I respect because they stay true to how they feel, and they don't sugarcoat shit like a bitch. And I respect more or less people that speak up on how they actually feel, especially when they're bullied, and now they're coming back to attack. So I'm going to say this right now. Colin Kaepernick's story should inspire the fuck out of you. And it shouldn't... I'm tired of seeing people say they're getting rid of their Nike and shit. Come on, let's be serious. And half of you people, I'm going to tell... Right, give me that shit. And half of you people, I'll tell you right now, some of you people are posting shit saying you're getting rid of your shit because it's so cool, but I'll bet you you're not even getting rid of your shit. Let me keep that same energy. If I see you post something about you getting rid of Nike and I ever see any Nike check on you again, I'm checking you. I'm saying something about it. I'm not keeping my mouth closed. Like, that's not okay. That is not okay. It's full stupidity, and it's somewhat racist to a certain extent. It may not. It's not solely. I'm not saying everybody that's doing it is racist, but there's some racism there. I'm going to tell you right now there is, and I don't stand for that shit because that's not okay.
If you have a problem.
It's not the shoe way.
If you have a problem with a black man exercising his rights that he was given as a American citizen, then you're a fucking racist. If you're boycotting Nike,
that's retarded.
If you're boycotting Nike over this Colin Kaepernick situation, you're a fucking racist. Nor do you know anything about the Constitution. Nor do you know anything about what veterans go to war to fight for. Veterans go to war to fight for Cap's right to kneel or not, if he wants to. Veterans go to war to fight for our right to protest peacefully, if we want to.
Now, there's some people that could argue that, I don't want to get into that whole thing, but there's some people that could argue that Colin Kaepernick, like, I've heard both sides of the story. Some people, over here in the right side are saying, like, Colin Kaepernick was acting like a bitch and he didn't want to blah, blah, blah. But I think it's more people on that side don't understand that there's a deep-rooted issue that nobody, there's no leaders standing up against the actual problem. Like, the root of the problem, he's actually standing up and saying, no, I'm not doing this. He didn't do it to act like a bitch. He did it to wake people up. And what happened? All the attention went to him because he did it. So now we can actually, we can talk about this problem. I think what he did was good, and it's a movement in the right direction, okay, for his culture, for black people, and for the issue, the racial issues that we're, now finding still in our society in 2018. Like, I'm not okay with that. If there's future generations, if I'm going to plant my seeds in this world and have kids and grandkids and great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids and just continue my family tree, I don't want my kids growing up in a racist society. Like, you got me fucked up for 1 second if you think any of my family is going to be out here being racist towards a different culture. I don't think that's okay, nor do I think it's okay. We're not, it's the same thing goes. I don't think that black people should be racist towards white people. Yeah, all right? I think we need to end the bullshit. Like, it's not okay. It's not okay.
I'm really getting sick and tired of it on both sides.
I'm tired of it, man. I'm really tired of it.
I have black and white friends. I've been bullied by black. I was bullied by black people more than I was bullied by any white person that I've ever been cool with. So for me to sit here and say that, y'all niggas. I'm not gonna say African Americans. I'm not gonna say black people because y'all don't deserve to be called that. Y'all niggas. Y'all niggas. I'm gonna say it louder one more time. Y'all niggas don't deserve to be called black or African American because you are part of the divide. You are part of the problem. You are part of the negative perpetuation that CNN has every right to perpetuate. And you white motherfuckers who try and call Black Lives Matter a terrorist movement and try and disenfranchise it with All Lives Matter You guys are closet racists. And you're ignorant. And you really don't fucking want us here. I've noticed something, bro, that it's all kumbaya when black people don't take a stand for our shit. It's all kumbaya and peaceful. Trevor can come over Dante's house and play fucking Xbox all damn day. But when Dante buy a dashiki and start realizing how fucking powerful he is as a black man, Trevor don't come over no more. Trevor put on an All Lives Matter shirt.
Yeah, I think.
Why don't y'all want us to be proud of what the fuck we are? Why? Because half the shit that y'all use was made by us. Calculators. Peanut butter. Laptops.
I think.
Cell phones.
I think, you know, and I can't really speak for them. The only thing I could say from my point of view, because I'm not actually racist, you know what I mean? So, like, from my point of view, I think that both sides feel threatened in a certain way. Like, I feel like, I guess there's people that don't want certain black people in a position of power because they're scared of what they might do, and then I think black people have every right to feel the same way because for years to come they've been faced with, you know, different adversities.
We don't dislike white people because we're racist. We dislike white people
and
because y'all make us uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm not saying all white people because I love Nick to death, and I love a lot of my white friends to death. But if some of y'all motherfuckers that say certain shit, that act a certain way, that act nice,
yeah, they don't make me feel comfortable. There's some white people that make me feel real uncomfortable. Like,
y'all motherfuckers act nice in front of our face.
Right.
Bag our groceries up, take our dogs for walks.
Right.
But
like they can play it cool in society around you, like in public.
But I guarantee.
But behind closed doors, they're like.
I guarantee if we strip the Constitution and implement slavery again, half of y'all motherfuckers, and this is some of my friends included, would definitely put me in shackles. And have me out in your front yard.
That's not okay.
Y'all niggas are not supportive of us.
We're all one. This is what people need to start realizing. Despite any of the bullshit that ever happened in the past, we need to learn how to, you know, chop it up and let the emotions, set the emotions aside for a second. And everybody's entitled. We can argue all day about how we're entitled and can technically, we have every right to justify about the way we feel. We can do that. But we need to set aside the emotions and we need to come together as a unit because we're all one people at the end of the day. The motherfucking color on your skin doesn't make you different, better, cooler, more powerful, nothing, okay? It doesn't. And the fact that, you know, I don't think it's okay as a white male, I don't feel comfortable that black people feel uncomfortable and they feel like because my skin's white, I feel more empowered than them. It doesn't make me feel comfortable. I feel threatened because of that. And I'm speaking on behalf of probably some white people that feel the same way about me that aren't racist. I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to be, I'm crossed in between both. Like, I don't want to feel like black people are looking at me like you're white, so you feel like you're better than me. Because I don't. I never looked at skin color as you know, or who you are, where you come from, where you natively come from. I never looked at that as like a factor in if I'm a better person or if I deserve to make it and succeed more in this world or anything. Fuck you. Like, that's not okay. Like, that whole thing. And I don't care about the stigma. You can, for all the racist people that have ever appreciated me or like me that hear this right now, like, if you're racist, just know I don't fuck with you. Like, that's not okay. Like, I'm not okay with it.
We got 8 minutes left, so we're just talking about this.
Like, we need to really, like, listen, like, I don't know how many times I gotta say it, but, like, I'm not gonna be the end-all, be-all. Not one damn, you know, human being can do it all. I don't believe I'm even equipped with the power to do anything without the help of everybody, you know? So I'm asking everybody, please follow my movement. SHU, you guys should already know what it stands for. I'm going to break it down for you guys real quick. It means stop hating on everything. I believe there's hate that is dividing us. I believe start helping others every day, okay? That's what SHU also means, start helping others every day. Because, you know, I believe that there's, no matter what race you are, there's people out there that they aren't as fortunate as you. They are suffering out there and they need your help. You know, and there's a lot of people, and I know Hendo's going to get excited about this topic because we always have heated discussions on this. There's a lot of people in positions of power that act like bitches and they got all the money in the world and they could really make some serious change and they don't want to do it.
Obama.
You know what I mean? So like, I just think there's a lot of people that could really. There's a lot of rich black people that could be helping the black culture. There's a lot of rich white people that claim that, you know, and I'm not necessarily saying just because they're not helping the black culture they're racist, but there's a lot of white people that could be helping the black culture, the white culture. They could really just be helping just the divide in general. I'm not even singling out and saying let's help one culture. Let's help our people in general.
I said this last week. If you're a white person and you want to show support to us, don't come to our protests as a white person. Get 1,000 of your white friends that claim to love black people so much and storm your ass up to CNN or Fox or the fucking White House, and fucking do something.
That's a coincidence, bro.
Because we don't have the same fucking power as y'all. And because
see what I mean? This is exactly what I'm saying. I don't want. Now that makes me feel uncomfortable when Hendo says that. That makes me feel awkward.
We have to work. We have to work twice as hard as certain privileged white people.
Certain.
Yeah, certain. I've met poor ass white people, bro. But even then, some of those poor white people, if we get
I didn't have the sweetest fucking come up in the world.
If we get stopped by the police and you still just as poor as me and it's a white cop, I'm going to get in more trouble than you because you are white. And it's a fact.
Most likely.
I've been fucking through it.
Most likely. I guess I'm the exception to white people though, because I've been getting harassed by cops all my life, white or black cops.
It's not even just it's not even just police, bro. It's systemic racism is real. Racism in prisons is real. Yeah. You feel me? When a black man goes to jail, he's not just targeted by COs.
So he's
targeted by white gangs and Latin gangs as well. Because no matter how y'all Hispanic people like to fucking mingle with us, a lot of y'all don't like us neither.
Here's the thing, like, I really have a master plan to like help everybody, and just like I'm not even playing with you when I say this. Like, I have a master plan to unify our people in general, and when I say people, I'm talking all races. Like, I have a plan. I can't do it alone though. I'm gonna need people's help. You know, I'm with equality. I don't pick a side. I'm for everybody out here. I'm fighting for every single person, especially the people that have it harder, the people that need the help, especially because there's nobody out there helping them. So I'm really out here riding for you guys. I have a master plan, so I need you guys to ride with me. I need you guys to stop hating on everything, start helping others every day, and stomp hard on enemies. And what I mean by that is, you know, basically like, you don't need to hate on people. I'm not trying to perpetuate hate by saying stomp hard on enemies. What I'm saying is, like, shit on the people without shitting on people. Like, basically get those people the fuck out of our way, because we're trying to win with something positive. You know what I mean? You can't really, at the end of the day, you can't hate on positivity. If someone's spreading if someone's spreading love, you can't hate on that. Try to hate on someone spreading love. It's kind of hard.
I know a few niggas right now hating on me.
Well,
so I don't think that's necessarily true. I know a few niggas right now hating on me.
But are you 100% spreading love?
I spread love to so many people, bro. So many people.
It's hard. I'm telling you right now. Like, I'm telling you, when you spread love and do nothing but spread love, and people genuinely see that you're spreading love, people can't hate. When that shit manifests.
Maybe that's my problem, because I'm not spreading love to a fake ass nigga. I'm not spreading love to no nigga who's sleeping on me. I'm not spreading love and sucking your dick every goddamn day just for positive energy to be in the air. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you.
I respect that.
Period.
I respect that. You should definitely, you know, let people know how you really feel. But my whole thing is, like, here's my thing. We're on this earth for a short period of time. You get one life, right? So my thing is, and we're not talking about, you know, reincarnating or anything. Like, I'm not. I could get deeper on the whole topic, but let's just hypothetically say, like we're told, you know, as a child, we get one life. We get one life to live, and that's it, right? So we're on this earth for, you know, how many years that we actually get to enjoy? 60, maybe 80 years? 60 to 80 years, right?
Yeah, if you're lucky.
All right, if you're lucky, right. Now, you know, unfortunately, people got to pass early, like Mac Miller. You know, they come in such a short period of time, impact the world in a beautiful way, and that's great. But if you're lucky, like Hendo said, you get to live 60 to 80 years. With that being said, I don't think that it's okay to waste my time on negative energy. And in my short period of time here, I'm gonna spread love, and because I think it'll buy me more time if I manage my time better and spread love. I don't have to focus on all the negative energy that's gonna come my way if I'm not spreading love. I don't even have time for that, so I'm gonna spread love, right? It's gonna save me a bunch of time, get me a lot further where I need to be, and I'm gonna deal with less negative shit and just be happy. And being happy is gonna push me to live out all my dreams and accomplish all my goals and hit all my tasks and everything that I, you know, was put here to do for the world, and you know what I mean, for all the people that I'm out here fighting for. Like, I don't have time for the bullshit. I don't have time for it.
If you're not, this is my thing. I'll spread love to niggas, but if I see that you just taking my positive energy and manipulating me and using it just for your own plan, I'm not spreading no love to you. I might fight you to keep it 100%. I just might fight you. And there's a few niggas that I know that I spread love to that really are sleeping on me. I don't need to mention y'all names because I know y'all niggas is pussy. And you don't deserve my clout. But if I show love to a nigga and he showing me the same love, and I'm showing love to my camp and they showing me the same love, then we're going to change the world.
Right.
But I'm never, ever going to tolerate any type of fuck-ass nigga sucking up all of my positive energy. Because when you do, the Hendo that you got today is the Hendo that you will always see. Because I get really attached to people, bro. But not to like bitches or anything like that, but to my friends, I get really attached to them. And when I get attached and I see that a person is sleeping on me, or I see a person is just manipulating me or taking me for advantage, I don't take that shit lightly. That shit breaks my fucking heart. It makes me sad. Not only does it make me sad, but since I'm mentally ill, it makes me want to hurt you. And not in just a catch a fade kind of way. It makes me want to put a bullet in your fucking mouth. So this is a PSA to anybody trying to fucking manipulate me or sleep on me or shake my hand and on some fake love type shit. If you keep up with the fake love, I will notice it. Because I've noticed it already. And I will put you in your fucking place. Period. But as far as the niggas that I know that really do love me, and I love them, and we are trying to make a plan for each other, I have nothing but love for those niggas. For the people who I make statuses for every day that are fighting the good fight between mental health and the things that are going on in their life and the pain that they're dealing with, I actually do love those people. But for you leeching ass, blood sucking ass, fake love showing ass, biased ass, not thinking addiction is a disease ass faggots, I do not fuck with you. I will never show love to you. You will never ever get a fucking privilege to shake my hand. And that's on my fucking mom. Because I don't appreciate niggas like y'all. I don't love niggas like y'all. I pray for niggas like y'all. And that's it.
Okay. You heard the man. You heard it here first. Hendo said his piece, and that's it. So basically, that pretty much wraps it up for today, guys. I think this was a very good segment. We had a lot of good topics today. And
Shout out to Joel Ortiz. Yow.
We accomplished a lot.
I'm throwing shade at Eminem all week.
Stop.
I'm tweet that nigga.
So yeah, that was it. For anybody out there that has any issues, anything that they're struggling with, for anybody that needs help, you know, you don't want to talk to your inner circle, you don't feel comfortable talking to some people, you know, you don't feel like the people in your life have the right intentions for you, please reach out to me and Henda. Reach out to, you can find me at Shoe856 on IG, on Twitter, on YouTube, on SoundCloud, on everything. You know, DM me, message me. You can find Hendo at Hendo609_. Please go follow, the Connection Radio Show at _Connection_radio show. We are the dopest radio show in Philly right now. I promise you that. We got a lot of crazy shit coming up, like a lot of shit planned for y'all. But we need to get people really like rocking with the show. Like you need to tell your people, because we're not going to have everybody miss out on all the shit that we're about to, expose and do in the next few months. We really need you guys to be a part of this. We want you guys to be a part of this. So I'm asking everybody and encouraging everybody to please go follow that and stay tuned. That pretty much sums it up. We'll catch you guys. We air every Sunday, 3 to 5 p.m. abm101.com. If you missed the episode, please go check it out. We'll catch you guys next week. We out.